Yep, Boomer Sabata. Familiar voice here on KFHS Radio.
What are you?
What's that?
What are you?
What am I?
Yeah, you are a
I'm a cursed species. I'm a Bears fan.
bad
Bear down.
Yeah, bad down.
just because of it. But we're gonna start it off with the finals talk, just so we can get basketball out of the way. Because of course, why wouldn't you talk about the NBA finals? It's basketball. It's sports. Sports are fun. We love
Obligatory finals talk.
Sports. There we go. I was waiting for somebody else to say it because I've been the one that said it the last couple times.
Yeah.
But we pretty much have a game 2 and game 3 recap. I think I'm the only one that has watched them though. That's here.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the highlights for game 2, but I haven't touched game 3.
Okay. That's at least you're trying to keep up. What about you, Boomer?
Man, I'm not keeping very good track of that.
Have you ever been a fan of like
Oh,
an
yeah.
NBA team at all?
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Thunder, but it's kind of weird. Like once my team gets eliminated from the playoffs, it's like I suddenly don't like the sport, and
Yeah.
just temporarily until like the season after that starts.
Oddly enough, we haven't started baseball talk here yet, but that's how I feel about the MLB season
Yeah.
right now. I was a big fan about the Reds, pretty much the Buds, as Trevor Bauer once called them, but they had no offense once the playoff occurred. It's disappointing just to have like two teams, because also my NFL team was kind of disappointing me, even though decent last week here.
Mhm.
But still, they were disappointing me. 2-2 is not where I want to be. But the Lakers, of all teams, of course, are making me happy.
Yeah.
They're up 2-1, and they have a history of bringing it back from here. It's happened this entire playoffs as well. Like, this team has been up 2-1. They lose game 3. That's what makes it 2-1. And then they just come back and win it 4-1.
You think it's going to be 4-1?
I predicted a 4-0 sweep, which
Oh, okay.
I was so happy once they started to come back last night, which game 3 is really, I think, the game we need to talk about. If you guys didn't see it, Jimmy Butler.
He went off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
41-point triple-double. He
Now-
said he didn't care.
Was Jimmy Butler going off, is that attributed to who was guarding him, or is it just a good game by him?
So watching it, it was obvious that he just wanted to win the game.
It's that
And
dog in him.
That was 100% the dog in him. And we already know, like, especially if you watch basketball, his nickname is Jimmy G Buckets. Jimmy gets buckets. G, like, that's his middle name. That's what
Yeah.
the announcer says for him. 100%, you already know that, like, that's what he can do. If that's what your nickname is when the announcer calls it, that's what you can do.
Yeah, 14 for 20 last night, too.
And
Wow.
he didn't take a three-pointer.
No.
The only finals triple-double that you didn't take a three-pointer.
Yeah, I was going to say, I read somewhere that like 38 of his 40 came either from in the paint or at the free throw line.
Yeah.
That's wild.
The free throws last night were
Skewed one way or another, or
yes, but no. Like, some
Okay.
of the fouls, definitely a foul was occurred, obviously, but in some they were just, the NBA is getting a lot softer. They're just calling like just little like things.
ticky tack.
Ticky tack. Yes, that's the best way to describe it. Everybody thought it was going to go in the Lakers' favor just because it's LeBron, but they're really not even calling certain fouls for LeBron. He was very agitated last night about it, and I'm not even going to blame that on why they lost, because why they lost last night is it's like an off round. If you watch UFC or any fighting, a fighter will take an off round just so they can get stamina back.
Mhm.
If you know that it's a 7-game series, you're going to take a game off because you can gentleman sweep. Make them not look nice per se, but they take it
Got to
down.
help them out in free agency
Yeah.
afterwards. Yeah.
It's really simple in
Yeah.
terms of that's what they've been doing this whole playoffs.
Yeah, there was 45 fouls in the game last night.
Was Anthony Davis in foul trouble? Because I'm looking at he only took 9 shots.
Yeah. Well, he was just off that night too.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had 5, I think, to end the game.
He played 33 minutes.
Vogel kept him in. He had 4,
Yeah.
and Vogel kept him in, and then he got 4, or his 5th, and he still kept him in. And I was like, okay. I mean, he's not really shooting well, but keep the bench guy down.
Yeah.
Sure.
Put him in there until he can't anymore.
Keep him in there, man.
I mean, he's just got the size, I think, over the Heat is what gives him, like, the true, like, leverage that he has, especially because they're the Heat's best defensive player at least was 6'9".
Mm-hmm.
That's Bam Adebayo. He's out. Their big guys have stepped up really nicely. Kelly Olynyk especially. Like, it was really surprising for me to see him out there because I thought it was going to be Myers Leonard, just as like me watching basketball before, and seeing players like them come off the bench, do their role, because Kelly Olynyk was great whenever he was with the Celtics. He was like doing exactly what he's doing, but with the Celtics pretty much, and he's doing it now with the Heat. Same thing with Myers Leonard. Myers Leonard was just doing it with the Trailblazers. 3-and-D guys, like, but their defense is way lower than their 3-point points. Like, their game offensively is unreal whenever you don't pick that up and you don't follow the screens like the Lakers were last night. Like, they were being kind of lax, and I think that's another reason Jimmy Butler was able to have his triple-double, because he just was able to assist constantly, to get open threes. Like, first 2 games they shut down Harrow and Duncan, like, really bad. But
is Bam scheduled to come back for Game 4, or?
I don't think he's coming back until like Game 5.
Okay.
Maybe, but if they want to push him for Game 4, maybe. But they still are wanting to say that him and Dragic are unsure for Game 4.
Yeah, they're still
Dragic's probably out.
He's Adebayo is still day-to-day. Dragic is day-to-day also.
If you're the Heat coaching staff, are you pushing on him to try to get to tie the series, or?
Adebayo, yes, but not Dragic, because Dragic, his problem is in his foot, and it's what connects your heel bone to your toes.
Mm-hmm.
He's not playing on that, especially as a guard.
Yeah, I remember Albert Pujols got that one time, and he was out for like 2 months.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen. He's not going to be able to play a game. I mean, I don't know if there's certain like pain-killing shots that you can get like that.
Yeah,
but especially in your foot.
Yeah, I mean, if an MLB like first baseman's out for a couple months, a first baseman no less, who barely moves, then I can't imagine a
starting point guard.
Yeah.
And in the finals, the most like explosive that you're gonna ever need to be, pretty much.
Yeah.
I still think that LeBron's gonna win. Obviously, 4-1's my prediction. I don't know if it changed your prediction at all.
No, not really.
Like, especially the stat line though. That's why everybody was having a big reaction last night.
Yeah. No, it doesn't really change mine, because for the most part, other than like they had a down game offensively, they stayed pretty consistent in a sense. Trying to get AD the ball. LeBron played pretty good. I mean, I think he had 8 turnovers or so. I don't know if that can be attributed to him being the main ball handler, or
mostly
it was just good defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, if they just stay consistent and have AD go off again like he has been before, it's a wrap.
And I think everybody was criticizing them last night for that too, because they were like, "Oh, you had to get Anthony Davis, and now you still can't win." And it was like, bro, they're up 2-1.
Yeah.
I was really confused last night why so many Heat fans were going off, and just I seen somebody say "bum," and I was like,
"Oh, that's just
how can you hate so easily?"
That's the social media realm in sports. It's
no,
just
this is somebody that I know that's like they're supposed to know about sports,
but
they don't, obviously.
Yeah, it's a night by night thing. Whatever happens, that's just the reality at that point.
Yeah, it's the more like talented and transcendent the player is, obviously the more hate that they're gonna get.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Well, there's the obligatory finals talk. I would have had more for that, but we're short a few people still as well. So we're just gonna go straight into takeaways from week 4. Then we're gonna go into some good old blitz, as per usual. But for the first takeaway that I had, through many, of course, Captain Tom Brady leading the Bucks out of treading waters, it looked like, at least for their offense.
Yeah.
Brady went 15 for 17 throwing and 263 yards, 3 touchdowns in the second half, finishing 30 for 46, 369, and 5 touchdowns with 1 interception.
Yeah, he gave a nice little tribute to Jameis Winston on that first play.
Oh, pick 6.
Yeah. Quick little tribute, and then he went back to Tom Brady.
He threw 2 so far in this season, that's true, because he threw another one to Janoris Jenkins early in like week 1. But seeing him throw 5 touchdowns to 5 different like receivers, he broke the record. He's the oldest quarterback to ever do that. at 43.
At some point, he's just going to be the oldest player to do anything at that point.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be
yeah.
the oldest player to get a 2-yard rush. And
The scariest thing about being a Saints fan is knowing that Tom Brady is going to outlive Drew Brees at like a career pretty much, and then take over the NFC South, and I'm just going to be sad.
yeah.
It's going to suck. But I mean, he's just doing great things.
And that was
Versus
against a
great
good
quarterback.
Chargers defense too.
Yeah, not bad.
That was another one of my like headlines or takeaways pretty much from the week was Herbert. Like he had a really good game as well. 20 for 25, 290 yards, 3 touchdowns with 1 interception also. But the Bucs were also a stout defense. Like both quarterbacks in that game had to play really well,
Yeah.
and they finished with a high score line. Like I didn't watch the game personally just because I figured that was the Bucs defense that was going to shut down Herbert. But he's actually really impressing me. I would definitely say I'm quick to hate on him. I don't know why. I kind of liked him whenever he was in college, but seeing him in the NFL, I think it just makes it like different. Like as the rookie starting
Yeah.
for a team and like winning or at least doing really well. Because I didn't like Mahomes at first either, but I think that's the problem right now is that I would rather see a proven guy than a rookie start, just like Ripien for the Broncos.
Oh.
Like there's some guys that don't. No offense, but you're not the same.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, what was impressive with Herbert, I mean, he had such a good completion percentage, and he was also the leading rusher, and he only had 14 rushing yards.
Well, that
So-
was because Austin Eckler, on his 3rd touch of the game, he went out with an injury,
Yeah.
and they couldn't really get it going with his
Kelly?
rotation guy, Kelly. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because I know he coughed up a really costly fumble. I don't know when in the game, but I know that happened.
That's interesting.
And, like, Justin Herbert really was almost like a point guard out there, divvying the ball up to everyone on his offense. He really didn't have a favorite receiver. Like, you would think Keenan Allen would be his go-to guy with how talented he's proven to be.
Right.
But he was really throwing to guys who we haven't really heard of. And that was a social media takeaway. I don't know if you wanted me to get into that now.
No, you're good.
But all the Chargers touchdowns in that game, they all came from undrafted rookies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Michael Davis, the cornerback on the pick six, he's an undrafted. Herbert threw a short pass to a 6'8" tight end who came out of the XFL, undrafted. Lawrence Guyton, wide receiver, undrafted. I'm pretty sure. I think there was another one, but I don't know who scored that.
Good for them.
Yeah, honestly.
They get their contract and now they're definitely getting some bonuses out of that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them. And I think another good thing about the Chargers is their defense was actually stepping it up a little bit in some ways too. Like for them to at least get some pressures that they had against Tom Brady. It was actually really, really interesting to read about because that was one of the headlines that I seen, but I didn't write down. And I hate to make fun of the Cowboys, especially after I made fun of the Browns last week for just they usually don't win,
Yeah.
especially if they
Yeah.
do it in this fashion this week. But did the Cowboys know that you can run the football too?
Apparently not. I mean, here's a guy. Doesn't he have "Feed Me" tattooed on his belly?
Yeah.
And you're not going to feed him?
I don't know if it's Mike
It's
McCarthy or if it's the offensive coordinator, but it feels like they're not exactly feeding Zeke and they're playing more towards Dak and trying to get all those excellent wideouts involved. And I get that when you have those talented wideouts, but at the same time, it's like you got to run the ball.
Yeah.
I was
Like
happy.
even the Chiefs find a way to get their running backs into the game, and look at how many weapons they have.
I had Amari Cooper on my fantasy though, so
Yeah.
he had 38.9 points still, even though they lost.
Wow.
I'm happy about that, of
And-
course, but
Cowboys defense, that's looking like a Big 12 defense by the week.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's
I
just-
don't see how they don't fire their defensive coordinator within the next
Just
2 weeks.
so fundamentally unsound too. It's bad.
300 plus yards of rushing.
Yeah.
I
And
thi-
before it was the secondary that everybody was attacking, but now if you're getting after the front seven,
only time I seen that was yesterday when I had Alvin Kamara in Madden. Like Jesus, man. Like that's Madden. Those are Madden numbers. OBJ especially, the game he had,
Yeah.
receiving from Jarvis Landry nonetheless. The rushing touchdown he had that was like 60 plus yards.
yeah, it was like 72 or something like that. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, probably. Because the one that I have here is he had 5 catches for 8 targets, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns receiving, 2 carries for 73 yards, and a rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
Finally doing exactly what he should be once they actually give him the ball.
Yeah, they're really
Mhm.
getting him involved now, which they haven't really made a consistent effort to do so. And now they're finally drawing up plays that'll go to him, like that trick play where Jarvis was throwing the ball. I think that was meant to go to OBJ because I don't think there was any other receivers even in the pattern.
Yeah, and Baker did a good job blocking, actually, which was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's,
Everson Griffin
I
really,
didn't think he would, though.
because it showed a replay of that, and the announcers were kind of ripping Everson Griffin on that because he just gave up.
Mhm.
He didn't even try.
He could have possibly got in there somehow because he's way bigger than Baker, and we seen how Baker did against those cops that one time.
Yeah.
So I don't know how well he would have done on like a spin move or something from a D-end.
No.
Crazy thing about the Cowboys, they've scored the second most points in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
They have 126. The Seahawks are first. They have 142.
That's what happens when Dak has 1,600 passing yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
But
real.
the problem is they've allowed 146 points.
Ah,
It's rough.
And I don't know if there's any other teams that are really close to that. I
The
mean, I guess
weirdest
the
part-
Jets with 131, but
oh, you're worse than the Jets.
Yeah.
Dang. I figured that was impossible.
yeah, that's just I don't know, man. I don't know what they were looking at in training camp, thinking that was.
No, this
A
was
good
definitely
defense.
not a takeaway per se, but the Eagles aren't necessarily a dumpster fire anymore. They got a tie last week, or 2 weeks ago, but that was just Joe Burrow magic, pretty much, that we're just going to be seeing for a lot longer now. He's impressive. Obviously, the Eagles won this last week as well, but I feel as if they're still like number 31.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they went up against the 49er team. I mean, aren't all of their superstars out?
Yeah, like half of them
Nick
are
Mullins is the
on
quarterback.
injured reserve
So, I
on
mean,
the sideline.
If you're an Eagles fan, you take it, but I mean, come on. It's like the
And-
Bears starting 3-0.
And Nick
It's like,
Mullins
come
did
on.
not.
You guys still
Nick
are
Mullins looked
3-1.
rough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was that one interception that
Oh,
basically lost the
the
game.
pick
for 'em.
six
Yeah.
to end the game. I don't know
Yeah.
who he was throwing to on that because there was literally no one open. That dude, because he was running an out route, he was triple covered.
Mhm.
That linebacker, that was a gimme.
Yeah.
Like,
Honest, like yeah,
all you had to do is put your hands out.
as big of a gimme as you can get.
Oh god.
Well, that's pretty like, especially with you saying the Bears being like 3-0, but they're 3-1 now, and I think it's not over for them obviously, but they need to put Trubisky back in.
Oh, I mean, I think Trubisky may have helped slightly yesterday against the Colts because he can run with the ball when he's under pressure. But what I saw yesterday was just terrible play calling in terms of running the ball with Nagy.
Mm.
And, I mean, that's something that we've seen even with Trubisky starting. So, in all fairness to Trubisky, I mean, that was just terrible. I don't know how many times they tried to run up the middle, and it
Right.
just did not work.
And that was the Bears are one of those teams where, especially last year, I think we talked about this off mic, obviously. Matt Nagy gave the offensive game plan away.
Yeah.
And I forget what team it is, but you might remember where he was literally like, "Yeah, we're just probably not going to run," and then like wink about it.
Mm-hmm. I think I can't remember which game that was, but yeah, I remember. I remember the result not being good. Yeah, and it's just
Worst idea ever.
yeah, and the problem with the game plan this year is I don't know what they're trying to do. Are they trying to be a power team? Are they trying to?
I don't think you can do that with David.
They don't really
Yeah.
have an
They don't have.
offensive identity.
Yeah, they don't have the offensive line to run up the middle.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just
Jimmy
yeah.
Graham is really sporadic. I mean, the one piece that they really know about is Allen Robinson, and they still haven't even got him
Yeah.
on a contract yet.
They won't extend him.
Yeah, you got to give that man. You got to pay the man.
Yeah,
Sad.
and one thing that was so frustrating about yesterday's game is the one time the Bears went on a drive that wasn't with a minute and a half left in the game. They're moving down the field. They're in the red zone. They have a good pace finally, and then Matt Nagy calls timeout. And then what happens after that? A busted play. After that timeout, a busted
That
play.
sounds like very Matt
Yeah.
Nagy.
Yeah. So it's just, I mean, getting in your own way. That's that's the Bears for you. Bear down.
Not to go against your Bears, but the Colts have. I said this last week too. They have the best defense in the league,
Oh yeah.
and you guys were quick to judge me just because they were going against the Jets, and I think it was just because, obviously, they're going against a really bad team, but their defense is so good. This is what they're gonna do. They scored 2 pick sixes They had 2 sacks, held them to 260 yards. They did the same thing this week as far as 2 sacks and holding them to under like 275 yards, I believe. That defense is just pieced together very well.
Mm-hmm.
Leading them very well is Darius Leonard.
Justin Houston on the line.
But
Kenny Moore,
Darius
slot
Leonard-
corner. I know they're missing their free safety, Malik Hooker.
DeForest
Oh,
Buckner.
obviously, DeForest
Buckner,
Buckner. Probably, arguably, the best offseason move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
surprising, I think, too, as well. They picked up Phillip Rivers and Buckner.
Yeah, the sort of story arc with the Colts defense this season kind of reminds me of the Bears in 2018. Like when they picked up Khalil Mack, it was like, uh-oh, this could be a problem.
The defense is really good.
When the Colts got DeForest Buckner, I was like, oh, man, that defense was good last year.
Because the weird thing is the Bears defense is still good, too, with Roquan and all the linebackers that you have in the middle. Danny Trevathan, I mean, your outside pieces, Kyle Fuller. You have Eddie Jackson at safety. You have a defensive line still with Khalil Mack. Is he more of an outbacker or is he?
Yeah, Khalil's playing outside backer.
Yeah, he's
I mean, you still have Akeem Hicks too, Pro Bowl. I mean, I know you have a defensive tackle who I can't name.
Eddie Golden.
There you go.
He's not playing this year.
He opted out, right?
Yeah, for COVID reasons. I don't know if he has an underlying health condition or if it, but it was, that's what it was.
Yeah, trying to stay safe. I get
I
it.
mean, still, you have pieces everywhere else, and that's a hard spot probably to replace, especially with his talent.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, and it was cool seeing the kind of the Bears defense and the Colts defense side by side, and
very similar, but
the difference was in execution. I mean, the Bears were in penalty trouble a lot. They gave up first downs on 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 situations a lot.
I think a lot of that, especially like a passing, is gonna be so bad. Like defensive numbers, at least, are gonna be so atrocious just because teams are gonna get pass interference penalties.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not gonna help whatsoever.
Yeah, the cards are stacked against defenses definitely with these rule changes.
Josh Allen, number 2 or number 1 in MVP. That was actual, like, people were saying that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still think Russ is ahead of him just because of his
100%.
touchdown numbers.
Yeah.
But through the course of the season, I think that he could pass him.
Mm-hmm. Especially if
he
stays on this momentum, I think he could.
Yeah, but if Buffalo wins 11 or more games, then I could and wins the division.
Yeah.
Then I could definitely see him, because if the Seahawks win the division again, then it's like, okay. I mean, Russ is probably going to be MVP in my opinion, but if they win the division, it's not that big of a deal. But if Josh Allen leads the Bills to win the division, it's a bigger deal.
Well, I agree with that statement, but I think both of the teams there are going to win their divisions.
Yeah.
Just because the Niners have lost so many people for so long that they're going to be out pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be able to piece it back together. I think they already know that this season's lost for them. They're still going to try, obviously. Like, that's not going to be a problem.
And the Rams are just kind of,
Yeah, they're just
don't really know.
He scored 17 against the Giants.
Yeah.
And then Kyler's playing pretty inconsistent lately for the Cards.
They're still trying to find an
Still
identity.
had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I don't know if you look at this as such a bad week. Like, they lost, yes, but do you blame that on the defense? 100%, I say, because they let up 31. You can't just like come into a game where you are going to score 21 points.
And it was to Carolina.
Right.
So it's like, eek. I mean,
without Christian McCaffrey, it was really surprising to see anything that was above 15 points, I would say, for the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. But I'm glad that Teddy Bridgewater is finding his own, just because I am a Saints fan.
Yeah, he deserves
Yeah,
that.
he really does after coming back from that really bad injury.
I actually wanted the Bears to pick him up this offseason, either him or Cam.
I was going to say, are you upset at the Bears organization for not picking up on Cam?
Well, it's certainly questionable now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially in, like, you already knew you weren't going to pick up Trubisky. Why not trade him?
Yeah, I thought
Phillip Rivers even.
I thought that we could do, I mean, of course, a lot has happened since then, but at the time, I thought that we could just trade Trubisky for Cam and, of course, have some other pieces around that. I don't know if that would have worked, because you got to remember, at that point, nobody was signing Cam.
Right.
And nobody was interested in him. Yeah. So, I mean, teams waited for them to cut him instead of having to trade with him.
It could have been way faster for not just your team, too, but, I mean, the Giants. Like, imagine Saquon and Cam on
Yeah.
option
Oh, yeah.
defense, or offense. But there's a
Yeah.
lot of teams out there that just, especially like Earl Thomas, his meeting got canceled by the Texans.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just teams were too late, I think, because of COVID. They didn't want to just jump right into a race. I think that's why it took a lot of time for certain free agents to sign. But
Yeah, and with Cam, I mean, the only way that a scout could watch him was on video. They could,
Right.
because of
Yeah.
COVID, you couldn't go to watch him in person or anything like that.
hey, there we go. We have Ray here. Showed up. So what we're getting into right now, I think, is to keep it on Bills just for one more second. How long do you think they can go undefeated? Since they are an undefeated team, and
Let me pull up their schedule real quick.
because they're 4-0. Josh Allen, has been showing a lot of momentum, and just not like his potential as well as his momentum. But
Let's see. They played Tennessee this weekend. I don't know if is that even going to happen?
probably
Hopefully,
since they just
yeah.
did this week as
Let's
a
see.
bye week, and they already reworked. They already reworked what like the season's gonna be, because the Titans' new schedule is gonna be. They play the Steelers in week 7,
Okay.
and then the Steelers are gonna have their bye week in week 8.
So
Yeah.
the Titans got it under control. Like, because I heard there was
I think
an
they have
outbreak.
8 players that tested positive in
Oh, okay.
total, but I think they.
I don't think there's no new
practice squatting.
positives or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Right.
I think it's just the same players that tested positive beforehand.
Ooh, and then after that, they got the Chiefs.
Right,
And
and then
that's-
That should be a good game.
That's on Thursday, which is the 15th, the Thursday night.
Yeah, that's a Thursday night game.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Wait, they moved the Chiefs again from today.
No. I mean, they're playing the Bills on the
Mhm.
Thursday
Okay,
night
I
game.
understand. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah,
I thought they were playing today.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if the undefeated streak comes to an end, it'll be either possibly against Tennessee. I don't know.
I don't
Bills
think
defense is
Tennessee
pretty
is
stout,
hmm
and then Chiefs.
Then they
I
got
mean, look,
Seahawks.
If you lose to the Chiefs, on the bright side, then you have an instantaneous win because you play the Jets afterwards. So,
yeah, that's true.
and then they play Cam.
And
Then they
got-
play Seattle. Ooh,
That's
that's
a
a
tough-
rough stretch.
It's sticky.
Cam, Russ, then Kyler. If Kyler, because I know we've been saying that he's playing inconsistent, but like Mark said, still threw 3 touchdowns. So if they keep up that momentum, the Cardinals do, could they beat the Bills? Possibly.
Yeah.
Then they got to face the Chargers defense, then the injured 49ers, Steelers defense, and then they end it with the Broncos, Cam again, and then the Dolphins.
Well, now that he's here, if he wants to say hello.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we're just talking about the Bills right now, pretty much.
Oh, the Bills, nice.
We already talked about the Lakers. If you want to just give a quick
Oh, nah, dude, I ain't got nothing about that. Game is,
as usual, we're just 2 more games.
Two more
That's it.
games,
That's
yeah.
right.
We're good.
Gentlemen sweep, that's all.
Did you guys talk about Bill O'Brien getting booted
I
finally?
literally had a blitz question about
Yeah.
that.
You're fired.
What?
Did they say who was going to be interim or who they were replacing?
The old Chiefs coach, you remember him? Romeo.
Romeo Crennel?
Yeah.
Wow, he's back.
Interim.
Well, they're tanking.
Yeah, that's just
That's a waste of Deshaun if they're tanking. That's tough.
They are 0-4, and I know you said they had the hardest schedule to open.
They had the hardest start. I don't know about schedule,
Yeah,
but
to open the season. But they're still 0-4.
yeah.
I don't know what happened. Like things were going so well with the Texans, and then it just went.
The Chiefs came back.
That's probably what happened.
I mean,
Honestly, yeah.
right now, in
Yeah.
terms of like statistics, they're last in rushing offense, so they can't run the ball. There's no consistency there. And then on the opposite side of the ball, they're last in rush defense. So it's the rushing game, the running
Yeah.
game. That's the problem.
I mean, this is like a Falcons level of just falling from grace after they blew that lead.
Falcons.
Done.
It's the Falcons. Next headline I did have, though, was the JoCo in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon. Joe Burrow has gone 4 games in a row with 300 passing yards. It's a rookie record. Good stuff.
Very
from our
impressive.
boy Joe Burrow. Joe Mixon also had a really good football game.
Oh yeah, I think he had 150 rushing yards.
Man, tell me why I dropped him, bro.
Oh,
He dropped.
Dude, like for the first 3 weeks, he was trash.
Yeah, he was. Though.
I was like, dude, I need someone else. So I picked up I think Miles Sanders. I was like, let's see what he can do. And I was like, God.
Yeah, no, I traded Miles Sanders for Jerick McKinnon.
Oh, that was a good. I have McKinnon as well.
Well, I got Darren Waller in exchange for Mark Andrews as well in that trade.
I
Wow.
like it. Y'all see Kittle go off too?
Oh,
That game
dude.
was. Did y'all talk about that game?
Not yet.
No,
Not yet.
Talk about on cue too. Didn't The Rock say that he was watching him and he was excited, and then of course Kittle just goes off.
Man.
He doesn't succumb to the pressure. Yeah, that was incredible.
Mixon did have 151 on 25 attempts, with 2
Sheesh.
touchdowns. Tyler Boyd, though, I think the good thing with the Bengals as well as the Bucs is they're getting acquainted, the receivers and the running backs
Mhm.
and the quarterbacks. Like everybody is finally like they know what each person's going to be doing, just based off of their being around each other for so long. It literally is chemistry in the making. Tyler Boyd had 7 receptions, 90 yards. T. Higgins had 4 for 77. Drew Sample had 3 for 47. Joe Mixon out of the backfield also had 6 receptions for 30 yards. Like, there's another 5 guys with 1 reception, but there's 3 of them for 10-plus yards. Another one that's 24 yards. Like, Joe Burrow is finding his own in the NFL just as well as he was in college.
Yeah, and it's what he has between the ears. It's
Yeah.
his football IQ that he already has. It's that extra intangible that the guys in the scouting combine can't measure. Yeah. 'Cause I kept hearing, like, were his hands small or something like that?
They were saying that.
His hands were small. And it's just like, we do this every year. We
Or
look at something,
Yeah.
and we keep looking at it until we hate it.
Yeah.
It's annoying, especially when they're. Well, the quarterback is 5'11", and his inspiration his whole life has been Drew Brees and Russell Wilson. It's like, of course, we know this. Like,
Yeah.
they're small, they're going to like a small guy. Just
Yeah.
stop telling us.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Like, we have Baker as well, who's another small guy, and who else?
Kyler.
Kyler's
Kyler's
small.
way smaller than anybody, too.
Yeah, he looks like a toddler running around the field. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, but you do, my guy.
And when he's doing that kind of juking.
No, his run
Kinda.
is hilarious because he literally looks like a toddler running from his
Like a
angry
sumo
dad. He's like,
wrestler.
So quick, though.
yeah, really, that shiftiness.
Oh, boy. That was my next one, actually, is he losing his magic, or is it just, like, the defense, like, allowing way too many points?
It was defense, 100%.
Okay. So
Uh,
even him having 133 yards on 24 completed attempts.
Maybe that was attributed to game plan. I don't know if they were even
Yeah,
trying to
31
take
total.
deep shots. He still had a good game on the ground. I know he had at
Right.
least 70 yards on the ground.
78 yards, 3 touchdowns, but I didn't get the attempts. I think it was like 6 or 7.
Yeah, a small sample size like that, you're not going to want to run him into the ground or anything. And it was probably more on busted plays, passing plays, where he's running out of the pocket.
Right, that's his usual, too. 'Cause
Teddy
they
was
have
looking good
air-
that game too.
Hmm?
Teddy was looking good that game too.
Right. I think we all said that we were like happy to see that he was doing that, obviously, but surprised, at least on my end, because they didn't have CMC.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna save this one for last, but I'm gonna talk about my team because why not? And I'm sorry, Pat, because your team hasn't played yet.
Yeah, I
At
know.
least they would've
Waiting on that.
yesterday. Drew is ever so slightly back, but he's not himself. He's still in Kamara's backpack. Like, that is still Kamara's team, even with Michael Thomas out. And once Michael Thomas gets back, it'll become his team. And I think our offense becomes what last year's offense or the year before offense was. I'm just glad he was actually able to throw touchdowns. Like, oh my goodness, it hurt to watch them play the Packers and him just check down, and then punt pretty much. But Kamara has definitely, in my opinion, cemented himself as the best running back there is in the league.
Right now, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like, I feel that way.
In terms of
100%.
versatility, like out of the
Mhm.
backfield as a receiver, yeah. Because I think he's still he's like 11th in the league in receiving yards or something like that.
He's fifth.
He's not 5th though.
Receiving
For
yards.
touchdowns.
For touchdowns.
I was gonna say
Okay.
it's not yards.
I was about to
I
say
got the
yards.
number first because I remember the stat, and yes, he was in yards last week, but he didn't have as big of a game receiving this week. I mean, he's still high on the list as well for rushing touchdowns and rushing yards. Forget the exact numbers, but
Wasn't the other running back scored the 2
Latavius
touchdowns?
Murray?
Yeah.
yeah, he scored. We had a really good rushing offense and attack, and I think that's what definitely let Drew open up the ball game for like 260 yards, which I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's more than usual. Like, it's really sad to see how quickly whenever your star receiver goes out, like where your offense goes.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks. And then the last headline that I had was Miami almost beat Seattle 23-31. And
What was our predictions in that game?
I have them right here. And
God.
I said 42-21 Seahawks. Pat, you said 35-17 Seahawks.
That's pretty close.
Ray, you said 38-17 Seahawks. And yeah, I definitely think we didn't count the Dolphins as something.
Man.
Could win
Yeah,
this game.
we knew the Seattle secondary was bad, but like
Right.
23 points to the Dolphins. Come on, Seattle.
How many
get your-
touchdowns did Russell have that game?
Russ had, I think,
3?
Yeah,
I'm
2.
looking right now.
Two.
Yeah, he had 2.
360 passing yards.
That's right, because he has the same number of touchdowns as the entire NFC quarterbacks combined.
Jesus.
Wow.
I mean, think of the quarterbacks in that division, though. You got Carson Wentz playing bad, Daniel Jones, dumpster fire,
That
Whoever the
Dwayne
hell's playing for the
Haskins,
Bears.
not consistent,
and Dak.
and Dak.
Dak has 5.
How much
He's
does
the
Dak has?
highest. He's the highest at 5. I believe Dwayne Haskins is the lowest at 2.
Doesn't he have a streak going on right now, Dak, with like yardage?
Yeah, 450 or something like that.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
He's 1,600 yards. Almost 17. He needs 10 more yards to have 1,700 yards passing in 4 games.
What is the problem with the Cowboys?
Oh,
Their
man.
Defense.
right now, which
Defense?
is- It's
Yeah.
weird. It's weird because their defense is actually like kind of stout. They're just not.
On paper, they look good, but
Yeah.
they're just not putting it together,
That's
I
the
guess.
perfect way. They're 100% on paper.
Jeez.
I can say our predictions from last week if you want me to. Just like whoever's the closest, pretty much.
On all of them?
Yeah.
All right,
'Cause I have them
coach.
all right here. Broncos Jets. I said 21-17. Pat said 17-10, and Ray you said 16-13. Obviously, you
Sheesh.
went close.
Yeah, no.
They finished 37.
Bro, Sam Darnold turned into the white Mike Vick on that run.
That run was insane.
That was kind of
That
wild.
was crazy. It was like a Paul Crew in the longest yard when the team wouldn't block for him. So he's like, okay, I'm just going to do it myself.
Mean
Tap
mush.
that.
That's a great movie, dude.
Let me see your wallet.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
He said, "You want a cheeseburger?" I got the fries on. He said, "I got the shake
Alright.
to make you quake."
Next game we had the
Funny
Ravens
movie.
and Washington football team. 31-17 was their actual score. I think I was. Actually, no, Pat, you were the closest. But I had 35-10. Pat, you had 33-14. Then Ray, you had 34-17.
3 points
Actually,
off,
no, I was
coach.
gonna say
He was the
be-
closest. You were
Yeah.
1 point. Or actually, no,
Sheesh.
you're both the same amount because you just had 1 more point for the Ravens.
Okay.
He had 1 more point for the Ravens, and he had the right points for the Ravens. Or for
Washington.
yeah.
The
17.
Washington football team.
For Washington. Steelers, Titans, COVIDed out, obviously. We have the
So why did theirs cancel? But like with the Chiefs, some players.
There's only one.
Yeah, it was a one
Okay.
isolated case.
How many were the
I think 8 was the total number.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I think that's what it got up to. Yeah.
Damn.
It was just like over the course of like 3 or 4 days, I think. Next game was Chargers, Bucks, 31-38. Obviously,
Yo,
Bucks
Justin
won.
Herbert went off that game too.
Yeah.
He was keeping up with.
Honestly.
I said 28-14 Bucks. Pat said 24-17 Bucks, and then Ray, you said 24-21 Bucks, which you thought it was going to be a closer game, in which you were right, but just higher scoring.
Interest.
Yeah, it was good. It was really surprising. We touched on it a little bit earlier with.
I'm liking Justin,
Herbert.
but sheesh, he's in the same league as us, man.
It's weird.
Yeah.
We talked about the Seahawks Dolphins, 31-23. I obviously was the one that was way off on that one.
For which one? Seahawks Dolphins?
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said 38-17.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And Pat?
He said 35-17. Which
Okay.
he was closest.
We got some nice scoring right there.
yeah,
I don't know what
for
the
real.
heck, honestly.
Vikings Texans. It was 31 Vikings, 23 Texans. 28-21 is what I had. 28-21 for Pat as well, and then 24-14 for Ray. In which case, me and Pat closest, but
Did I have Vikings or did I have?
we
We all had Vikings or?
No, I had the
You
Texans.
No, you had the
so-
Texans.
so-
You were like,
so I was right.
That was just the game that led to their head coach and GM getting fired.
man, should have fired him when they traded DeAndre.
With Romeo as the replacement.
Honestly.
It's gonna be weird. Romeo, no.
Back into the head coach
For
for a
12
couple
days. Till 1
couple
year.
weeks, maybe.
Saints Lions. Saints won 35-29. Then I had 42-17, in which case I thought we were going to have an offensive explosion, which is something that we needed just to. We already knew what our identity was. We just needed to find it, which I think we did. We let the Lions have too many points, but of course we keep getting screwed by the refs. Like you can laugh at me all you want. You can watch the game from the Packers. If you find the full game, and you can find the full game from the Lions, I know 4 penalties that the commentators themselves went to the head referee in the Packers, said, "Hey, do you think this would be a penalty? Like, is this even something that should be called?" And the commentators, referee, pretty much said, "No. Like, why did they even call this?" 4 times, and most of those 4 penalties were on 3rd downs. So it gave them a 4th down when they should have had one. And I believe there was 2 against the Lions, or us against when we played the Lions, and the same thing was against us. It shouldn't have been there. They were phantom calls pretty much, and we pretty much put the game away after Marcus Williams caught the interception, but they just weren't allowing it. They just got little small stuff, especially holding calls. I will admit some of our offensive line holds, but not every single one of our holding calls was holding. And I think it's getting egregious.
Yeah, with the holding calls, I think I heard during the Bears game that those are down, but there does seem to be a lot more penalties in the games that I'm watching. I don't know if that's actually because there are more penalties, maybe because there was no preseason, but
Right.
yeah, referees really want to be on TV.
Get that screen time.
Yeah.
Pat, you had the closest score, 34-23. Ray, you had 35-20.
For which game?
The Saints Lions,
I had 35 what?
20.
Interesting.
And it was 35-29. The Browns,
Yeah, we were off, huh?
50 points almost, 49-38 against the Cowboys. I put 35-21 Browns, in which case I was the only one that said Browns.
Dang.
Pat, you said 35-23 Cowboys. Ray, you said 34-24 Cowboys. And I do recall myself speaking on the rushing attack. I didn't know that they were going to have 307 was the total number.
Yeah,
But-
no one was expecting that.
For what?
Rushing yards.
Oh, rushing yards.
They had 307 total rushing yards as a team.
Didn't Dak go off for 500 that game?
Yeah, he said,
Mhm.
I think he had 4 or 5 touchdowns.
4 or 5. Sheesh,
If
man.
he didn't have 5, he had 4, and Zeke had 1. But
He had 4.
Zeke
He had 4.
really did nothing yesterday. He really did.
Zeke not top 5 in the list.
Oh, no. He not. He's dropped. Some people have dropped, though. A lot, actually. My quarterback one might make you guys...
How many touchdowns did
questionable.
CD have that game, too? He had like.
CD, I think he had 2.
one. He had
2?
Okay.
Yeah, he had 2. Yeah.
I know Amari had a really good game, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know someone didn't start him. I was like, sheesh.
I did.
That's tough.
Jags Bengals. We all had the Bengals. Bengals won 33, obviously, to 25. I had 31-28, way closer.
Dang, that was close.
I had it 27-20, and so did Ray. So you guys actually were really close.
Wait, what do we have it?
27-20,
The actual
Mm.
score was
33-25.
Nice.
Um,
Nice picks, man. These numbers, bro.
but I actually think I was closer because I had 31-28, and it was 33-25. We all had nice picks.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
Colts, Bears.
There's 2 games tonight, right?
I think,
My bad. 2 games tonight?
Yeah,
Mhm.
2 games tonight.
Is it like
Oh,
same
yeah,
time
there
or
is.
back to back?
Packers, Falcons. Chiefs,
Who's first?
Chiefs, Pats, I believe.
Great Mondays, bro.
Because I believe
That's nice. Ooh.
Then was it like week 1 when we had 2
Still-
games on Monday, or was it week
it's
2?
still Monday Night Football for the Packers, Falcons.
Yeah.
That's why.
Hey,
They should do that.
don't
more
nobody
often.
care about that.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if they stacked them way more evenly on Sunday and Monday. Than
Man, if they do like multiple games on Monday,
That would be-
fun.
I'd like
would
that.
be. I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday nights be better.
Because there's too many games on at noon. Like
Man,
Yeah,
games to keep
really.
track of.
There's too many.
Yeah.
That's why we have way too many blackouts and people don't get to watch their teams.
Yeah,
If
like-
you're like a New York, like if you live in New York but you're a fan of, I don't know, the Texans or something.
Yeah.
like, you're just not gonna be able to watch your
Yeah.
team.
Trying to flip back and forth between games on Sunday tickets.
Yeah,
man.
really, honestly.
Does. It does.
And you
Like
always
on the
miss
website?
like the best play of the game, but you just miss it too. Every time you try to
Uh,
switch to a game.
Yeah, you always miss something.
Like
too.
I went upstairs to get a snack when the Eagles were down. What was it? 15.
Did like 12. No, it was like something like that. It was
Something like,
like,
and all of a sudden I come back down. They're up.
up something.
like
Yeah, tell me
25,
about
20.
man.
Like,
That was what
What the? What
Yeah,
happened?
that was interesting.
Yeah.
And they won by like what 5 or something?
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Nick Mullins.
Colts 19, Bears 11. I had 28-21. Pat, you had 28-17, and then Ray, you had 23-20. But you both had Bears, and I had Colts.
Damn, the Bears lost.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Nick
Ooh.
Foles let me down, man. Dang.
He went off on yardage though, right? Or he threw a pick too.
He
That was
threw a
in-
touchdown and a pick. but-
Ah,
Most of those yards were when they were down 19-3 too.
Yeah.
So
The Colts held them to 11 points total. And then
I know Allen Robinson went off because
yeah,
someone
he-
started
he
him.
had the most. That was
so
it.
I was like, damn, all right, I'm losing this week
Him.
again.
yeah,
And
the
then-
Bears averaged 1.8 yards per rush.
Damn. They
Who's
go
the
Nick.
leading rusher?
Huh?
Who's the leading rusher?
Oh,
Trubisky?
crap. I don't even know. It probably is Trubisky, to be honest.
Because David Montgomery really hasn't done too much.
It's Montgomery with 218 rushing yards.
How far
God.
behind is Trubisky?
Christ. What?
How far behind is Trubisky?
Here, let's
Trubisky.
see. He's at 87.
Start him again, coach.
He could be a gadget player, like
Taysom Hill
Jalen Hurts,
2.0.
like what they're trying to do with Jalen Hurts.
Taysom Hill 2.0.
Interesting.
Yeah, Taysom Hill. Yeah, that's a better example.
Cardinals versus Panthers next. We had 21 Cardinals, 31 Panthers. I actually predicted the score, but I had the Cardinals winning.
Cardinals winning. Sheesh. You said 31-21
Yeah.
Cardinals.
Pat, you had
That's
28-27 Cardinals. Ray, you had 28-17 Cardinals. We all got it wrong.
tough.
But the next game, we all did get right, and we were way off on it.
Which game is that?
It was the Giants-Rams that ended 9-17. Rams obviously winning. I had 31-10 Rams. Pat, you had 37-13 Rams, and Ray, you had 34-16.
God. It's the Giants. I should have just less than 10.
Anybody guess a fight would break out after the game?
No.
That was interesting.
That was
was great. He picked him up and body slammed him, dude. That's what it got. Jalen Ramsey.
Next game we had was Bills-Raiders. Bills winning 30-23. I had 31-17. Pat, you had 28-21. And then Ray, you had 34-27, which we all had really good scores on that one again. We all picked the Bills as well. Monday Night Football, which includes the Pats now, which has been coded out. I still have our scores here if you want to update them at all.
What is
now
it?
that Pat or Cam is out for the Patriots. I have
Oh,
28-24. Pat, you have 30-24, and then Ray, you had 28-24 as well.
Keep it 28 for me. 16. Pats.
Because it's Brian Hoyer that's starting.
Yeah.
right? I heard somebody yesterday say, "Oh, Hasselbeck could start in this league." I'm like, if he would be.
If they were
He's
smart,
played
they
for
would've brought
every team in the
somebody
league.
They would have brought somebody else in since they knew that they were going to have Cam on the COVID option, like injury thingy. They should have brought somebody else in that's, I don't know, kind of wears number 7.
Yeah.
Just because he kneeled doesn't mean he can't play 1 week and maybe win a game because he's a mobile quarterback.
And
as
it's Bill
well.
Belichick.
It is Bill Belichick. If they would have signed Cap, even just for this week, I think they would have not as much of a fighting chance, obviously, but a fighting chance better than Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, when you have a versatile player, it gives you that edge.
They will
Definitely.
run.
Because Brian Hoyer's just going to be a statue back there.
And then we had Eagles-Niners, which you also talked about, was 25-20. The Eagles coming back, surprisingly. I still think they're 31 in the league, obviously, on the power rankings, just because I don't think they have it. I had the Niners 24-10. Pat had the Niners 24-17, and then Ray had the Niners 24-13. All got that one wrong as well, but we're still really relatively close in the score.
Yeah.
Falcons-Packers also coming up. Devontae Adams, I know for a fact, is going to be out. If you guys want to change your scores up.
He's out?
Yeah, he said he's not going to play.
Sheesh. How long is he out now?
3 weeks?
Since the first week?
Since the third week, I think.
Oh,
Maybe the
third.
Maybe the second. I think he played the second week.
Because I remember him going off in fantasy for
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what the
I think he played the second week and then the third week that you didn't play him.
Ah.
I think that's why. But I have 35-17, which I might just change that to 32 for the Packers.
I look, he should have started Aaron Rodgers, bro.
Pat, you have 37-28, and for some reason I don't have what team, but you probably are guessing, just going to say the Packers.
Falcons.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Packers could still put up that many points just on the ground.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Aaron Jones, especially against the rushing defense that is.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if Devontae Adams is out, Alan Lazard, the number 2, is also out. So it's like, who's Aaron Rodgers throwing to?
About his Scantling and his Equanimeous St. Brown's. Is he back?
No, I think he's out still.
Damn.
Wait, who?
Equanimeous St. Brown.
Equanimeous St. Brown. I think he was supposed to be
Have you ever heard of
third
them?
receiver.
Hmm?
The St. Brown brothers.
Nah,
There's
coach.
3 of them.
Damn.
Amon
Acombo
Ra is
brothers?
the youngest. He's at USC right now, and he's probably going to be like a first rounder next year. I forget who the middle brother is, but he hasn't had as nice of a college career, I think, is the problem. But they're all still really talented, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Only brothers I know
They all
in
can
the
make it in the
NFL
league.
is the Watt brothers, bro.
The Fullers.
Yeah. Gronkowski's.
Yeah.
The Steelers have 2 of them as well.
Oh, Edmonds?
Yeah,
The Edmonds brothers?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
There's one's a Bill, and then 2 of them are
Tremaine.
Steelers.
It's Tremaine,
Terrell.
Terrell. And then the third one plays like running back or fullback.
Yeah.
a lot of siblings, huh?
And then
Kelsey's
the
too.
linebackers in
Oh, yeah, the Kelce's.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kelsey's brothers.
And then I think the Long brothers.
The McCourtney twins
I think
for
they're-
Patriots, yeah.
The
Yeah,
Long
they're
brothers are
Long.
retired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that happened fast.
The Pouncey brothers.
Yeah.
Yo.
and
Yo.
then,
Oh, yeah.
the
Dang.
Defensive ends, the twins.
Oh, and the
One that played for the Eagles and then one played the Bennetts. Watch that.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
and Martellus and what's his name? Michael Bennett.
Michael,
yeah.
yeah.
And there's the Griffin or no.
Oh, yeah, Shaquem and
the
Shaquille.
twins,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
twins.
yeah.
Yep.
Cut the
Yeah.
Shaquem.
They brought him
No,
back,
they brought him
though.
back. Yeah, I saw him
Really?
play.
Okay,
Yeah, I
good.
saw him play.
I was gonna say they dropped him.
Yeah, I know.
I was
that's-
like,
Are you
wait, there's no
joking?
arm on that one. I was like, no disrespect. I was like, okay, that's him. He's like, they brought him
That's
back.
the other brother. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to change your scores at all?
Nah, I think I'm gonna keep it there.
35-28 for you, Ray. 37-28
Dude,
for
actually,
Pat.
35-21.
21. Good.
24.
Julio is back.
24.
Julio's back.
Wait, Julio's back? Keep it 28. Keep it 28. Keep it 28, coach.
Is Calvin Ridley playing too? Because I saw that he was questionable.
I'll look that up right fast.
Questionable.
Because that's my thing. If Julio and Ridley are playing, that score's going to be up.
They're both playing. They're both playing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to keep the score the same.
Okay. I'm gonna jump right into the power rankings real quick, just because I know that it would go by pretty fast. Also, I think that whoever made this is jumping the gun, obviously, because we still have 2 games. There you go. Okay. At number 32, obviously the New York Jets. 0-4.
God. Yeah, first
Yeah,
2 picks
100%.
maybe Jets Giants.
I actually think Jets Eagles.
New York is now on the clock.
I think
Jeez.
Jets Eagles and then Giants. I think the Giants have a better defense than the
You think
Eagles.
the Eagles are just gonna spiral out of control?
I don't think they're going to be able to win with Carson Wentz.
Lions will be in there somewhere.
Actually, I think it might be correct here. They have Jets, Washington, at 31.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Haskins played better at least. He didn't throw a pick.
Then they have the Jags. Then they have the Giants at 29. They have the Broncos.
They have
at
the
28.
Giants ahead of the Jags?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Ooh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Even with Saquon, would you put him ahead?
No.
Yeah.
Because I think
I was going to say quarterback stability, I'd take
I think it's
Minshew
the
over Daniel
defense.
Jones.
yeah, and the Jags can put up points too.
Right. I just think that's the only reason they picked
Yeah.
the Giants. It's just the defensive looks that they've had so far, especially keeping the Rams down is what they're saying at least.
That's true.
Then we have the Broncos at 28. Then we have
Sheesh.
the Lions at 27. Have the Dolphins ahead of the Lions at 26. Then we have the Panthers, which I think is the lowest team on here at 25. Still feel like they're a top 20 team in the league somehow.
Yeah, who's above the Panthers? I
Yeah, that's all I know.
I think that's another. The Texans at
No.
0-4.
Heck
No.
no.
Look,
Yeah.
They just fired their coach.
Yeah,
Come
no.
on.
Get him out of here,
Team is
coach.
at 23. Guess who the next team is at 23?
Who?
Cincinnati Bengals.
I think Panthers is up
Yeah.
there. Yeah, above those two for sure.
Oh, yeah.
22, the Raiders.
Mm.
Yeah.
Derek Carr hasn't thrown an interception.
I was going to say, the Raiders are scrappy. Like, even though they've lost, they've been fighting in those
What are they?
games.
2-2?
Yeah,
2-2.
I think so.
Yeah, they're gritty. That's that Gruden grit.
That's what you get when you pay that guy $100 million.
Yeah.
Man, I need Josh Jacobs to go off though.
Cardinals next at
Been
20
ass.
or 21, 2-2 also. Then you
Yeah.
have the Falcons 0-3 at 20. The Philadelphia Eagles are actually 19.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
No.
No.
Yeah.
That's
the
not
Vikings are ahead of them, and I think that's fair. But they
Get
should.
him out of here,
they
coach.
were-
Who made this?
Kirk Cousins shouldn't. This is actually Pro Football Network.
Vikings offensive line is terrible.
Yeah, they're bad. They're bad straight up.
Then the Chargers are at 17.
Okay.
Cowboys are at
That's
16. So do you think the Cowboys deserve to crack the top 15?
The Cowboys?
That basically means playoffs for them. That's what I'm saying.
Is it top 15 you say?
With how bad the NFC East
East
is,
East.
I think they could, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they beat all the NFC East games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we have the top 15. Cracking the number 15. Chicago Bears.
Bear down.
I think that's just residual from the 3-0.
You think you're about to come down from the roller coaster?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a come down, especially this Thursday. There's just too many weapons for Tampa Bay for Chicago to keep up with.
You don't even think if like halfway through the game, coming out of the tunnel, you see Trubisky with the helmet on?
I mean,
Trubisky comeback?
I mean,
think
if he did,
pissed.
then that would be great. But I mean, I think the problem right now is
Honestly,
just with the run game.
Yeah, if I'm Trubisky, I'd be livid.
Well, the run game
Yeah.
doesn't work if it's not going to work against the Colts. It's not working against the Bucks. If Nick Foles comes into the first half and looks like he was against the Colts, sit him. I think Trubisky just needs to be smacked in the face and said, "Hey, you have Allen Robinson on the outside. Please utilize that."
I wouldn't. I mean, maybe, but then again, we'd have to see if it would work first. It's kind of like wanting to do a trick play. You're like, well, I want to do it, but it has to work. And when you change a quarterback, it can really mess things up offensively.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if Foles continues to play like he kind of has been, then I wouldn't mind seeing Trubisky come back in. I mean, it's tricky. It just kind of depends on the situation. It's like when they took Trubisky out. It's like it seems early, but the situation's right,
Yeah.
if it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's the bare naked truth, I guess. No pun intended.
I wonder if Trubisky, if he stayed in the game against the Falcons, if he would have also come back.
He might have, because the Falcons
The
are playing
Mitch
a lot of
switch.
They're playing a lot of
flip.
prevent.
Hey, if he did it against the Lions, I think he could have done it against the Falcons.
It's definitely something that weighs heavy on himself.
Mm-hmm.
Number 14, Browns. Is that fair?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
3-1.
the skill players they have on
I was going to say,
offense.
I might even rate the Browns a little bit higher. Like
I
one or
think
two
the next
spots.
team actually should be a lot higher. Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, Colts need to be higher. I think
the
they kind of.
first week is just weighing on a lot of what their record is.
Mm-hmm.
Letting the Jags score the most points out of any team so far.
Yeah, and I think that their offense isn't flashy. So
Yeah, no.
Flash-
Philip Rivers
Run
isn't
you,
like.
run you, and then run you.
Phillip Rivers.
I didn't understand what he was talking trash to Roquan Smith, like what he was saying at first. But what he said was 28 turned the corner on you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jonathan Taylor pretty much broke the edge, and he said bye-bye.
Yep,
So,
he did.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I just couldn't understand it at first. He's got
Yeah,
that drawl.
Phillip Rivers doesn't cuss when he trash talks either.
Gosh, dang.
The nicest man to
Yeah.
ever talk shit on you.
I
Dude.
think
He's
that's
got
because
9
he has-
kids, so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's-
dude, that dude couldn't pull out of his driveway, dude. Like, honestly.
How many
Very
more for a
poor.
whole team? I think he needs to
Trying
do
get his
that.
own team going.
Two more?
Two
Yeah,
more.
he
He's
has
got his
his
own
own
offense.
Get a squad, bro.
He has a whole offense, him at quarterback, and then
A backup.
Is that the next Manning family?
Oh,
Or,
man.
or is
God.
the Breeze family the next Manning family?
Dude, the Breeze, how many kids does he
4.
have? 4? Sheesh,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, I think if you're just looking at percentages, I think Rivers has a better chance.
Man, bro, that dude,
Quarterback.
shoot or shoot, bro.
Yeah, actually, I think that's probably fair. I wonder how old his oldest is. But to move on to 12, New England Patriots. I think
Okay.
that'll change, obviously. Since
Yeah, they're kind of in a
2
weird
weeks
spot.
at minimum for not having Cam.
Oh, it's 2 weeks without Cam? Oh, because,
COVID.
Yeah.
dang.
I don't know.
Brian
It'll be
Hoyer will
interesting.
do that to you. Yeah.
It'll be really interesting to see how he does. Because they're a heavy run team. If they can keep that going, they just know, like, a defense coming into that game know now they don't have to worry about Brian Hoyer
Yeah.
like he's Cam Newton.
It's so
So,
predictable. Like,
100%.
yeah.
Kind of sucks for their game plan. But at number 11, they have Tennessee. I think that's fair just because they're still undefeated.
Yeah.
That's
the
pretty
same.
much. Yeah.
Can't really give you a weekly scouting report right now.
Yeah. It's going to change also, just because of I don't know all of the players, but I don't think they've given all of the names out of the players yet. So we'll see how that goes. At 10 they have the Rams, which I don't think
Nah, I don't like
No,
that.
I'd
They're
drop
up
them
there.
down.
I don't
that's
like that.
unreal.
I don't like their away uniforms either.
I don't like
The,
their.
the
No,
gray
I don't like
makes
the
me
uniforms,
so
period,
mad.
man.
I mean, their home ones are okay.
It's just a
Too
testament to
fancy.
classic, like their organization, their legacy, pretty much.
Yeah. It's. I think they should have went back to the navy and white, like when they were in LA the first time.
I'm gonna save my thoughts for last, but at number 9, New Orleans Saints.
Number 9.
Yep.
I think that's.
Who's 8? I want to know who's above him before I say anything.
Niners. So, if we're being
Mm.
realistic, the Saints might be number 7. And if you want to be even more realistic, the team that's at 7 is the team that they beat week 1, Buccaneers. How do you put a team that you beat above you?
I'd put.
So
Are
if
they
that-
basing this off, like,
if
wins
that's-
and loss right now? Is that why? Or
Maybe,
no?
but if that's the case, how do you put a team that's beat you above you?
I mean, the Buccaneers did just allow. I
Yeah.
mean, Brady had a great game, but they still allowed what 31
30
to
some points, yeah.
to a rookie. So, I'd put Saints, Buccaneers, and then Niners, just because the Niners are hurt right now.
So that would technically move the Saints to 7.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like,
Yeah.
I'd have to see what this next week holds for us.
Yeah.
Who do you play?
Let's see if I have to cry in a corner or not. Oh, Chargers. Chargers, Panthers.
They play Chargers?
Uh,
Justin might go off.
Chargers, Panthers.
Herbert.
Justin might go off.
Then we
If he just did that to Tom,
we get to visit good old Soldier Field after that.
Oh well, you'll have a nice trip.
Bear down.
We'll play the It really depends on if it's cold or not. If it's cold, we'll see about that. Because I
Wow.
think what it is arthritis for Drew Brees, maybe.
Could be that, or it just
Dang.
it could be just the fact that his shoulder's just worn out.
Well, it's known in cold games, and especially since he's been older. And if it's a cold,
how old is he?
game,
Like 42, right?
It's just not.
Mhm.
His stats statistically are so.
Yo, who's older, him or Tom?
I think
Tom's still older, I think.
I think he's older by 1 year. Because Tom's 43,
Jeez.
he's 42.
they still look.
Retirement home.
Man,
Man, NFC South.
get these guys out of here.
Our schedule does lighten up a lot, though. We get to play the Chargers, the Panthers, the Bears, the Bucks again, then the hurt Niners, the Falcons, the Broncos. The
When do you
Falcons.
play the Niners? I think they'll have everyone back by then, no? No, actually, no.
They
Ned
won't
Bosa's
have
out,
this-
yeah.
They'll have a
Bosa and
few people
Thomas.
back,
Thomas,
but-
yeah.
Solomon Thomas. but they'll have, I think, everybody else by then.
That's a big
So,
loss in their defense, though.
Mm-hmm.
Next on that list would be number 6 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The top 5 NFL teams.
I like that.
Yeah.
would be
That's a decent,
Mhm.
6.
Bills at 5, Seahawks at 4, Packers at 3, Ravens are still at 2, and the Chiefs are at 1. I don't think the Ravens should
Ravens
be
at
top 5.
2?
Not even top 5.
Wait, who?
I think that the
Who's not top 5?
Steelers should be above them.
Who?
I think it should go Chiefs, Packers, Seahawks, Bills, Steelers, Ravens.
Because of the Chiefs game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I'd have to see,
they
though.
also allowed the Redskins to kind of look good at first.
That's true. I'd have to see the Ravens go up against another.
Big
Like
team.
legit
Yeah.
contender. Yeah.
Who did they play next week?
The
I'll
Ravens?
check here.
Yeah, the Ravens.
I'm not sure.
Oh, who do they play?
If we
I think it's the Bengals.
get Q.
Is
Yes.
it the Bengals?
The Bengals.
Jeez, yeah. It's
we
gonna be
still
a
got
while.
Good chunk of times. Do you want to do the blitz and then we do my top 10s? And
Yeah, I
my
can
other
run the
top
blitz real
10s?
quick.
Okay.
Okay. Are we want to do time limits or just like open ended? For
Open-ended.
Okay, cool.
We'll just try and keep it all of us
Natural.
together.
All right, so first question, I'm gonna give some background on it. So the Broncos were missing their starting quarterback, Drew Lock, starting outside receiver, Cortland Sutton. Their starting tight end left the game, Noah Fant, missing Phillip Lindsay, KJ Hamler, really speedy rookie for them, that was looking good. And then they're missing two right tackles, their starter and their backup at that position. They still put up 37 points on the Jets, plus Brett Rippon threw 3 interceptions, and they still put up 37 on the Jets.
That's
Yeah.
So right now the Jets are at a 30% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. If you're Trevor Lawrence, are you considering just pulling an Eli Manning or John Elway and saying, no, I'm not going to play for the Jets? Like, if you draft me, I won't play for you.
If you want me to be honest with you, I feel like
God.
if they want to win games, they should trade for a guy that wouldn't be too hard to acquire, I think. And it's also somebody who's been in their system before. You probably think I'm saying Joe Flacco, in which case, oh, no.
No, Joe Flacco's already on the team. They're
Definitely
going to
not.
trade for him.
He's on the Browns. His name's Case Keenum. I think if they somehow could work out a trade for Case Keenum, it wouldn't really require them to give up too much. He's been in their system before. He's been a proven quarterback as long as he has a good defense and a run game, in which case they have Melvin Gordon as well. And their defense is so-so right now because of injuries, but once their defense gets healthy again, I think that it could happen because the Vikings gave up on Case Keenum really early.
Are you talking about the Broncos, right?
Yes.
I'm talking about the Jets.
Yeah, I was talking about, he's talking about the Jets. I was
Right,
like,
you're saying
Okay.
Ripien had a good game and everything, even with like.
No, he had a
or the
shit game. He
Broncos
threw 3
won,
picks.
even though Ripien, no, I'm sorry, I said this wrong. You're saying the Broncos had a good game, even though Ripien had 3 interceptions.
Yeah, despite all of these things,
Correct.
the Jets are so bad that the Broncos, despite all these things going against them, they still put up 37.
Right, and I think the Broncos could actually be a playoff team again if they trade for Case Keenum. That's what I was saying.
They could also get Tyrod Taylor.
That's awesome. I
Honestly,
didn't think
I
about
would
that.
kind of like that.
Yeah, after that botched injection, Pickens ruined his career with L.A.
And I think Josh Rosen's on the practice squad.
Oh, the Bucks, yeah.
Yeah.
with the
Rose in the nosing.
Exactly.
Big ol' schnoz.
And I think that's the worst of the 3 options. I think it would go definitely Tyrod and Keenum are really close, but I think Tyrod is better just for his mobility's sake. And the way that you said it, they don't have 2 right tackles.
Yeah.
So I think that if the Broncos needed an option, they would have it. They just got to actually pull the trigger.
All right, but put yourself in Trevor Lawrence's mind right now.
I was about to say.
Say you're walking up on those stage. Roger Goodell is holding a Jets jersey. Are you taking that, or are you just saying no? I don't want to play for this team.
You think Trevor Lawrence would go to the Jets?
You take it.
They have a
for good look.
30%. The Jets right now, they have a 30% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick.
You think they use that to get Lawrence?
Yeah.
Over
If you bring in a new coach, that new coach is probably going. Like, I know Sam
Back
Darnold
to
is
Sam Darnold.
talented,
Oh,
but
yeah.
when you switch up a coach and you switch up the scheme, the coach usually wants to bring in their own guy that'll fit their system, right?
Right.
Like the guy they envisioned. Like Cliff Kingsbury, when he came in, they booted Josh Rosen, and then they brought in Kyler.
Mm-hmm.
So if they bring in someone like, I know that a top head coaching candidate right now is already the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, Eric Bieniemy. If he goes in, might want a QB change.
There's also another suggestion.
That's true.
The Bills OC, which I forget the name of. Hold on one second. Brian Daboll, in which he apparently had some connection to Sam Darnold, I believe. Like he was a coach or something of him. So he has some connection to the Jets somehow, and I seen that's how he could apparently be a head coach candidate.
But right now, straight up, if I'm Trevor Lawrence and I get drafted by the Jets, I'm saying no. I'm not playing for your franchise.
I mean, at this point, with the Jets franchise, it's just
shit.
I mean, like, what else how do you fix it? Like,
I don't know at this point.
Because
like the thing is,
New York, dude. The Knicks, the Jets.
When you have almost a surefire as a prospect as Trevor Lawrence is now, we'll see if that stays in the future. We don't know.
Fields.
Yeah, you have that leverage to be like Eli was to the Chargers when he got drafted by them. He literally straight up was like, "I'm not going to play for you."
He said no.
Yeah. And they ended up they swapped QBs. That's how they got Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, and they could get pretty good haul of picks if they traded Darnold.
Yeah,
honestly,
definitely, especially with, I mean, every offseason the quarterback situation is just a frenzy.
And if they were smart enough, what they would do, the Jets, which that's a sentence.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
if they were smart enough, they would trade Sam Darnold for at least a top 15 pick, and get.
They'd
Justin
get a first
Ross.
rounder for him. They'd get a first
combine
rounder
Justin
for him.
Ross with Trevor Lawrence because they're coming out of Clemson together. So
that would be pretty solid.
Yeah. If I'm the Jets right now, I'm just gonna stick with Adam Gase. Can't believe I'm saying that. Tank, and I ship Darnold out of here, and I stick with Flacco, and I just tank.
What about Le'Veon Bell?
I think he'll be fine.
So?
He's not there right now. I think that's the only reason that when you don't see somebody play, you think a little bit less of them just because you're not seeing them consistently. We get to see Frank Gore in that position, in which case that's not Frank Gore's role. He shouldn't be catching tippy-toe catches off of wheel routes. It's not him. He's a power back. He will get you up the gut. That's what he has done his whole career.
All right, so we good on that?
Yeah.
Next one? Okay. So Nick Chubb recently just got placed on IR. He was expected to be out more than a month, around a month. I don't remember. But so with that in mind, should the Browns let Kareem Hunt loose, like just have him as their bell cow back, let him go, or stay with the rotation that they had with Chubb and Hunt, but replace Chubb with one of their backups and keep that and rely on their depth? Because their depth is, right now, their other running backs, they have Dearness Johnson, who had 13 carries for 95 yards last game, along with Dontrell Hilliard, who only had 5 carries for 19 yards. What do you think?
They're going to keep the rotation, but if they're smart, they would go with Kareem Hunt. He's shown, especially with the Chiefs, that he could be that stamina back. So.
Yeah. And I think it will depend on how their playoff situation works. They'll kind of see, because if they're in a good playoff position towards the end of the year, then Hunt's not going to – they're going to ease off of him a little bit more.
And then here's something that I'm going to break off of that. Do you think the Browns are a better team with Hunt as a starting running back or Chubb?
Chubb.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think Chubb's the better running back.
Yep.
Hunt has pretty close to the same amount of talent.
I think Hunt's more versatile because I followed the Browns in training camp, and they were playing Kareem Hunt as their third wide receiver. I don't know if that's a testament to how bad their receiver depth is, but that's what they were doing, so they could get both him and Chubb on the field. And in terms of, running the football, as an actual running back, I'm just saying running the football, I think Chubb's the best in the league when it comes to just running the football, not in terms of as a versatile piece, like a guy like Kamara.
Dalvin Cook.
Or Derrick Henry.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Derrick.
I don't know.
Statement retracted.
No, I'm going to keep it out there. I still think Chubb's the best pure runner in the league. Henry obviously is in contention. So is Cook. I kind of forgot about Dalvin.
Yeah, Chubb can get lower than Henry can, which makes him harder to tackle.
Yeah.
With Henry, he's just so big.
He is a Mack truck.
Yeah.
That is him.
So, yeah, I'm going to be excited to see how they play, what role they play Dearness Johnson in, because right now he's the second back in Cleveland. So
Didn't when the Falcons were good. Then they had Devontae Freeman and somebody else.
Kevin Coleman, yeah.
Yeah. That's what it
But
is.
they
Smith's
lost the fumble.
Yeah. That's what.
Rough.
I love my division.
Okay, so here's another one where you got to put yourself in the position of, like, through the eyes of a player.
I'm imagining.
So if you're Dak Prescott right now,
Right now.
are you going to, and Jerry Jones walks up to you and offers you a contract, are you signing that contract, or are you saying, no, I'm testing free agency?
No. And I'll let you guys go ahead first because I actually gave you my thoughts on this before.
Well, I think the time that for him to test free agency would have been last season. I don't know what the QB situation is going to be in terms of free agency next year. It's going to be pretty exciting in terms of the draft.
Man.
But to be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, that's like shortstop of the Yankees, man. I mean, I don't know.
Right, but the thing is, they're not winning right now.
That's
And
the
that
thing.
should be, that probably is the number one thing in a lot of players' minds is, if I go to this franchise, can I get a ring?
Yeah.
And right now, if I'm Dak, I'm saying, I'm not going to get a ring here.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Even with all these weapons that I have?
Yeah.
And they've already paid so many of those weapons
Exactly.
for you.
100%.
Yeah. And that's true. And with it depends on what his priorities are. Does he want to win, or does he want to have a ton of good stats and make it to the Hall of Fame? Because with the Cowboys,
I
if
think
he
that's
stays
linked.
there,
I think winning a ring is sort of linked to being in the Hall. I know.
Everyone wants the hardware too.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I know it totally shouldn't be because, like, teams win rings, specific players don't, right? But still, that's a main thing that every player wants. They want that ring.
Patrick
Just
Mahomes
looking
did
at-
win the ring for the Kansas City Chiefs, so
I mean,
Yeah.
he has an amazing supporting cast, though. Tyreek Hill, Travis
fair,
Kelce.
but he did that.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't put any other starting QB in the league in that role, and any of those situations to come back, other than maybe Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Like Pat Mahomes would be the only reason that you guys won a ring last year, 100%.
What about Russ?
I don't think so.
Nah, Mahomes is in a different conversation from all
'Cause
QBs.
Russ could throw it like 20, 30 yards very nicely and accurately and improvise and everything, get out of the pocket, but he's not throwing it and lacing it on that blitz where
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill's way open 50-plus yards.
Yeah.
He's not making that.
Yeah, like Russ might be named MVP, but it's Chiefs bias. But I still think Pat's hands down the best QB in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Valid.
Yeah.
That's
Based, bro.
Yeah.
To put my comments out there though for the Dak situation. So you said put yourself in Dak's shoes, right? Not Jerry Jones' shoes.
yeah, Dak
So
shoes.
if Jerry Jones offers me a contract, if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm going to consider my options. Those are going to be my exact words to Jerry Jones. And I think the best team that you could have in free agency, especially if the quarterback retires,
I was gonna look it up to that. What do you think? What are his fits? But go ahead, Mark.
New Orleans Saints. So if Drew retires after this year, he does take that CNN role that he was offered for football, or CBS role, sorry, and then we're already paying him $25 million. That's not too off of what Dak wants. $25 million over 5 years, $125 million. That's a great deal. You're the team that you're getting into too. We're actually winning, and you're going to be better performing than Drew is right now, just because of the way that your arm is able to throw for 1,700 yards in 4 games. That's what Drew used to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, not that exactly, obviously, but
Yeah.
he had the 5,400 passing yard seasons.
Yeah. He went off.
He's had
yeah.
5,000 yard seasons. Like, it sucks to see his arm digress to what it is so far, but Dak could easily, I think, step in and fill those shoes.
Yeah.
That would be insane, actually, thinking about it. Dak to the Saints.
And his
Sheesh.
mobility factor, way higher.
What
It
about
would be a
it?
good fit.
What about Denver?
Ooh.
I think that would be another good fit, but I think they.
I think Drew Lock's their guy.
Yeah.
Here's something for you,
Horsecock Lock?
specific boomer.
The other team actually I thought was the Bears.
Yeah, I literally was just gonna ask you that.
Yeah. It depends on the moves that they would make in the offseason.
Yeah, how would you feel about that if Dak was your
I would be
QB?
pretty happy with that. Yeah. It would actually be because with Foles, I'm comfortable with him at quarterback, just the fact that he's a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Trubisky in because he can do more.
He has that
But
mobile
Dak
factor.
is like
yeah.
both put together.
Another thing I was wondering is what if Dak pulled a because they have enough money. He pulled a Jason Garrett and went to another team in the NFC East. The Redskins or the Washington
football team.
Yo, don't say that. Stop, dude.
Who knows what the
football team.
Eagles are gonna do?
No, I think they were, especially the quote that Ron Rivera gave on Dwayne Haskins. Like,
Yeah.
there's a cap.
There's a
limit.
cutoff point. He literally said that.
So I think if they really needed to move on to anything, I think Dak's a really good fit for that organization too, because they just need to add around him, and they should do that in this draft because their defense is already good enough, and they have a decent offensive line. They have 2 pieces on the right side, so they just have to match it up on the left side, and I think the draft is obviously an answer in most cases for teams like that.
I'm going to throw out 2 more team fits for Dak, and I want you guys to give me your opinions on it. What about the Colts? Say Phillip Rivers retires this
They have
offseason.
Brissett, I think, signed to a 2-year deal, so they have him for another year after this.
Okay, but is Brissett really their guy? I feel like if Brissett was their guy, they would have been playing him already.
Well, you have Rivers.
Oh,
Yeah, I know, but I was saying if Brissett's their guy,
you don't have to start Rivers next year. If you
They
have
wouldn't
to.
He
have
was
even
only
paid
on a 1-year
Rivers.
deal though, Rivers.
Oh,
So
I
he's
thought
gone
you
after
said
this
too.
year.
yeah, that's why I'm saying,
Yeah.
like, gone, retired, either way. Are you bringing in Dak, or are you going to roll with Brissett?
If they want to stick with their game plan, I would say just go with Brissett because I think
Mhm.
he could get the job done. But if they were wanting to kind of open up the offense a little bit, then yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Because right now the Colts are playing where their defense sets the tone,
Mhm.
like kind of like what the Bears did in 2018. So if they want to kind of reverse that, and they'll eventually have to reverse that because that defense isn't going to stay like that forever, then that's when you can get Dak. That's something that the Bears didn't do very well.
And then here's another one. This is, of course, another scenario. I'm not saying that he will retire or not, but if Big Ben retires, could you see Dak in a Steelers uniform?
Yeah, I could. Working with Mike Tomlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could.
Ooh.
Smith
You
Schuster.
can see it. It's really surprising though.
Connor is, I mean, I'm not going to say he's Zeke, but similar skill sets. Maybe not as good
Yeah.
receiving the ball as Zeke, but
In terms of how their teams are, well, in terms of maybe how they're kind of opposites actually, because the Steelers have good defense. They have solid weapons at wideout, but I don't think it's at the level that the Cowboys have. No disrespect to them at all.
That's and definitely something a draft could fix
Yeah,
for the Steelers.
I think that's a really interesting fit.
Man, if he went,
All
from
of
the
them really
Cow-
are actually thinking about it. Dak in New Orleans, I actually like that. I actually really like that a lot, honestly. But yeah, moving on.
Man, it's just drama with the Cowboys quarterbacks. Each and like Tony Romo, there was drama. Before that, it was Bledsoe. There was drama
They
with
actually
him.
re-signed Romo though. I think is the main difference, obviously. But I don't understand why you don't want to re-sign Dak.
Yeah, that's
I think he's the common denominator, especially in all of the games so far. Why they're winning.
and I think
Or
the
why
problem
they're
is he's asking for Goff and Wentz money.
Yeah.
And is Goff and Wentz worth the money right now? No.
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 Definitely not.
And this is here's another one. Moving on. In your eyes, who's the best rookie QB right now? Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert?
Burrow.
Yeah, I'm agree with everyone.
He's got the worst supporting cast, and he's doing the same.
Now,
Yeah.
Herbert has the best uniform. That is what I'll say. The Chargers uniforms are probably the best in the league.
I'm
I like
actually
their
really big
unis.
fan
Those
of
are
the
sweet.
Bengals color rush uniforms.
The
The,
all
uh,
white or
The
whatever. it
all
is?
white with a little bit of
Yeah,
black.
those are-
Oh
those
yeah,
are cool.
the kind of throwback looking ones a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, those are pretty sweet.
because that's when they have throwback helmets on too.
Yeah, I like their helmets. You know,
Yeah.
their helmets used to just say Bengals on it.
Yeah, they actually look really fire.
No, they don't. They look like the Browns.
They look really fire. If you guys see. That's
They just
crazy.
look like them.
They look good.
But yeah, you guys literally gave my exact thoughts on it. Burrow's doing the same, if not more, with a worse supporting cast around him. So here's, you want it to be my last one, or you want to
Do
continue
two
more? Okay, 2 more. So real quick, Earl Thomas, like we said before, last session, he had his workout canceled by the Texans. So why, in your eyes, is he still unsigned? And where do you think he will go if he goes anywhere this year? And what is the best fit for him?
He didn't get signed. I think it was because the Texans didn't want him on. They just didn't want that kind of
Yeah, but I'm saying, do you
situation.
attribute that to character issues? Because that's what basically got him booted out of Baltimore.
Cowboys.
Or is it play?
And
What?
at the
Cowboys.
yeah. Do you say Cowboys?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think he's going to the Cowboys too. Yeah.
I think it's not just a team that he was always been talking to, like in past seasons, but in general,
Mm-hmm.
it's a team that needs to revitalize their defense. Kind of a wake up call, because they're in games. They just need their defense.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was character issues with the Texans. Maybe it's he may have character issues, and right now that's something we don't want to work with the Texans.
I think it's that, and then they also didn't know like the protocols for like bringing a workout in, because the NFL didn't have like a set hard line for it, and now they do. Like they actually released a memo today. I don't know if you guys caught it, but just updating new like procedures and stuff like that. Just what they're actually gonna do. Then they actually fined like an hour or two before that, Derek Carr, Darren Waller, and Josh Jacobs like 50,000, 10,000, and 30,000, I think, for not wearing their masks at Darren Waller's like foundation event.
Dang. So it's
Remember
even
last
outside
week,
of, huh?
Yeah, remember last week when I told y'all about
Yeah.
how like they had spotted Raiders players out without masks? That was
Interesting.
really
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
Oh, and didn't Sean Payton take his mask off to yell at a ref?
Yes, and apparently we've all been fined for that, but who cares? Who cares?
Who cares? And then my last question kind of goes back to something that I really spoke upon last session again. Do you think Riverboat Ron should bench Dwayne Haskins?
Yes. It's just plain and simple.
I don't,
Alex Smith.
Because I have reasons.
No,
Why
you
you
said,
should, and then
who
no.
did you say last week? You said it was Alex Smith and who
Kyle
was
Allen.
Kyle
Yeah,
Allen,
Kyle
the guy
Allen.
who's
Second string.
already been playing in Ron Rivera's system and started like 8 games for Carolina last
and
year.
he started off okay, but then
Yeah.
he went down.
I think that was more attributed to CMC than the actual talent of Kyle Allen.
I mean, with the Redskins, it's tough to say. I mean, if they want to, then okay, I can see why. It's one of those situations where if they do, then okay, and if they don't, then I mean, I can kind of see why. I would like to see Alex Smith play though. That would be really
A return, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in Dwayne Haskins' defense, he's only 23, right? He only made his 11th start on Sunday, career start. He has a new coach, new offensive system. His O-line's pretty bad. And for the most part, he actually played decent against the Ravens in terms of turnovers. He didn't turn the ball over, but he's still, I believe, second to last in the league in quarterback efficiency.
Nice.
Yeah, because he didn't have any touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Redskins are such a tricky team, or the Washington football team.
That's okay.
So, yeah,
That's okay. We accept
It's a
Redskins.
habit, bro.
Yeah, they're kind of like the Jets. It's just like, geez, where do you kind of pinpoint the problem? But yeah, Haskins
Everything
hasn't.
just lights up. You're
Yeah.
like, where do we start?
Yeah, Haskins hasn't. He hasn't helped them win. And if the Redskins are looking to win right now, then
I think the good thing about them though is they're rebuilding their culture in their organization, so it's just going to be a fresh start, and I think that's what's going to help them
Chase
reset
it.
as quick as they are.
Chase Young's going to be a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their defensive line has picked up
Promising.
really well.
Yeah, that front seven for Washington football team is
Yeah.
very good.
Do you feel like you have another really good one in there?
Like, really good one? No,
Like-
not really. Like, I can speak on... I have one that I'll ask real quick. So, in Carolina, they really have a lot of rookies starting on their defense right now. Could you see a turnaround on the horizon? Because really, they, for the most part, they kept the Cards in check. I know they allowed Kyler to have a good game, but one of those touchdowns that he threw, that was in garbage time, so it really didn't even matter. So really, they only gave up 2 touchdowns, and then they held up really solid against the run. They completely erased Kenyon Drake from the game. He had 13 attempts for only 35 yards. Of course, Kyler got loose because it's Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
he's one of the shiftiest QBs in the league. And they really held solid against DeAndre Hopkins. He caught 7 receptions, but it was only for 41 yards. And really, I want to highlight the rookies that are standing out for Carolina on their defense. Yetur Gross-Matos, defensive end, second-round pick. He had a forced fumble, a sack on 3 tackles. And then they have Jeremy Chin, safety, linebacker hybrid. He's really playing that Luke Kuechly role for them in terms of like leadership and defensive play calling. He had 8 total tackles. And then their nose tackle, Derek Brown, first-round pick, he had 2 tackles and a tackle for loss.
I think we'll see the answer to your question in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
They'll probably play like the best offense that has been in their first 6 weeks, probably. Yeah, be the Saints pretty much is what I'm saying, because they have played the Raiders, the Bucks, the Chargers, and then the Cardinals. So I think it'll be actually it's 3 weeks from now, because the Saints have a bye week on week 6. That's why.
Yeah. If there's one thing that the Panthers head coach, Matt Rule, knows how to do, it's turn around a program.
Yeah.
Did that at Temple, Baylor. So, I don't know if it would happen this year, but I think definitely the Panthers will get better as the year progresses. But yeah, you'll definitely want to look out for them, especially when you have these teams like the Saints going through changes. I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to get worse in the coming years, but going through changes.
Yeah.
Buccaneers will inevitably have to go through changes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I think right now, the Panthers are kind of just floating right now. Just kind of.
I think if we don't
Float
get
your
a
boat.
agent, though, at QB, I think we could easily get Trey Lance.
Yeah, that's true.
And if not Trey Lance, then maybe Sam Ellinger. And even though people don't tout him
Hook 'em.
Exactly. People don't tout him as highly as I think they should.
Well, yeah, I mean, the games that they lose aren't necessarily his fault.
Mm.
Like TCU, that game wasn't
you're
his
in the
fault.
Big
He had 4
12.
touchdowns.
Your defense will allow as much as you score.
Yeah. Yeah, usually in the Big 12, it's not the
Yep.
quarterback's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else bring their top 10s?
Oh, yeah. I brought mine.
I did not, coach.
All right, so we're going to have 2 outside fresh perspectives on our top 10s. Do you want them to vote on who has the better?
Yeah, sure.
Vote.
All right, cool.
Damn.
Do you want to start with QBs?
Yeah, we can start with QBs.
I kind of want to save them for last.
Okay.
All right, let's start with running back receiver.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So at running back, I have number 10, Melvin Gordon.
Oh, that is way different
he
from
just
last
missed
week.
it for me, honestly.
That is way different from last week already.
10, I got Zeke right now because really his carries have gone down so significantly lately. He only got 12 carries last
You
game
wanna hear something
compared
crazy?
to 22 in the first game.
You want to hear something crazy?
What?
Zeke's not in my top 10.
I was going to say, I don't think he would be.
It's just like a power ranking, sort of.
For them.
If
Yeah.
it's power rankings, then yeah, I would have Zeke barely squeaking in there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
And I was going to say Melvin Gordon, so close. I had him in there, but I took him out.
Him and my number 9 are actually really close in stats, but I had number 9 ahead of him because he has more yards and less attempts. James Robinson for the Jags. He's
Ooh.
number 9.
I have James Robinson. Spoiler, I have James Robinson at number 8. 9, I have the new starting running back for the Browns, Kareem Hunt.
It's actually where I have Kareem Hunt is at number 8.
Really? Okay.
Interesting.
Nice. Solid so far.
I have Hunt ahead
Solid.
of Robinson because Robinson has 285 yards, Hunt has 275, but Hunt has 10 less carries and same amount of touchdowns. So
Yeah.
statistically as well, he is better. At my number 7, I had Josh Jacobs.
That's literally why I have at number 7.
It's gonna be a fun
Dang.
Who's your number 6?
I have, this is controversial, King Henry.
I have Joe Mixon.
That's who I put above him.
Man.
You have Joe Mixon at 5, right?
Yeah.
Guess who I have
This
at
man's
5?
got Henry at 5.
Come on.
What the?
Wow.
Okay.
Hey, can I copy your homework? Yeah,
Just change it up. Just flip 2 of them. For me.
Yeah.
We didn't. I promise.
Just flip it up.
This is-
Okay, who do you have at 4? Yeah.
Aaron Jones.
Okay, 4. He's injured, I know, but I still put him in there because we got to see a decent sample size of him. Nick Chubb,
Who's your number 3?
Dalvin.
Okay, I had Chubb at 3.
Okay.
Wait. Did you say your 3? Who's your 3?
Nick Chubb.
Okay.
He had Chubb at 4.
Mhm.
And at 3, he has Dalvin.
Okay.
At 2, I have Dalvin.
2, I have Aaron Jones.
At 1, we both have Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, come here.
That's my boy.
Wait, where's Aaron Jones for you at? Mark, did you even put him in there?
4.
4? Sheesh.
So, statistically, Aaron Jones is 4. He has 303 yards, 50 attempts, 4 touchdowns. Not just his receiving numbers as well. Nick Chubb, I know he just went on IR, but his running game is insane. 335 yards, 57 attempts, 4 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook had 424, 75 attempts, and 6 touchdowns. I believe that AK is 100% the best in the league.
Well, he's the most versatile, hands down.
He just doesn't get the carries that everybody else is going to get because Dalvin Cook is that offense in Minnesota.
Pretty much.
He's that man, bro.
He is that man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Receivers now?
Yep. Who do you have at number 10? Because I think mine's different from yours.
Yeah. Okay. I have Justin Jefferson at number 10.
Dude, oh my
Really?
freaking God.
Really?
Oh my God.
Gosh.
That's wild.
They're literally copying off their homework, dog.
After these last 2 games, seeing him go off, I think he's just as talented or more as Adam Thielen.
Okay.
I don't know if he has the hands, but
We'll get to that. Yeah, I don't think.
Mans is a rookie still, though.
Yeah,
Like, he's
that's
got
true.
time to develop.
yeah.
I have number 9. I had Robbie Anderson, so he went down 1 from last week for me.
I got Robbie Anderson at 8. 9, I have Keenan Allen.
At 8, I have Thielen.
Wait. Ooh.
Oh goodness. Why are our lists too similar? Okay.
Too similar.
Did you have it 8?
8, Allen Robinson.
Okay. I had Thielen. At 7, I had Terry McLaurin. He stayed same spot, I believe, as last week.
Yeah, 7, I have McLaurin, too.
Who's your 6?
Amari Cooper.
Oh my God. I had Amari Cooper.
That's nice.
Number 5,
Diggs.
Stephon Lockett. Or
Stephon
Tyler
Lockett.
Lockett.
Okay.
Dang, he put.
I combined
He
them
put
both.
them together.
Combined them both. Actually, Diggs is going to surprise you on my list.
He's at top 3.
Honestly, Diggs, he could be. Receivers are so hard to judge because it's like,
Well, I have someone.
Wait, who was at your 5?
My 5 is Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett. Dude, he had a terrible game this week.
He did. He was on
God.
the fantasy team.
Man. He
He
dropped like.
statistically has it.
How many times was he targeted? Not as much, wasn't
He didn't have a reception for the first
First
half.
like half, yeah. I was like,
He had
"Wha-
0 points first half for me.
Jesus
One
Christ.
Number 4, I have DeAndre Hopkins. Stop.
no, you did not just put Hopkins at 4, bro.
Oh yeah, I did.
What's your 4? Let's hear it, Pat.
4, I just because he's playing, I put Julio because it's Julio.
Okay, I have a case for why Hopkins is 4.
Okay, who's your number 1 then?
We'll get there. Ridley is my number 3. So we both put Falcons for 3.
Okay.
Diggs is my number 2.
Yeah, I get that because
Who's number 1? I'm trying to think. Who now?
Who went off? Who's gone off?
Don't say it. Let us guess.
Yeah, no, I really want you guys to guess this one. I'll tell you their stats, all right? So let me
DK
start
Metcalf.
with. Hold on. We'll start with DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins has 39 catches, 397 yards.
Yeah,
and
that
1
could
touchdown.
be it.
Calvin Ridley has 349 yards, 50 less on 21 catches.
Let me go to
18
my
less
fantasy real
catches,
quick.
with 3 more touchdowns at 4. Stephon Diggs has 26 catches, 403 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 13 catches less and more yards than Hopkins. And then my number 1, as Boomer said, DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
16 catches, 403 yards, and would be 4 touchdowns. But yes,
got it punched out at the
16
end.
catches. He doesn't even have 20 catches, and he has 403 receiving yards.
deep threat.
Do you think that's him or is that Russ?
I think
That's
it's both.
That's
Or
my thing.
because
maybe
he-
it's because
We've seen him at
Lockett's
his
getting double
40.
covered.
We've seen his combine day. He is that athletic freak where he gets off the line.
Where did he
and
drop
can
to?
go.
2nd round, right? Or
Dude, it was 2nd or 3rd.
he
sheesh.
dropped hard because of his route running
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so
concerns.
massive. Pause, but he's so massive.
Yo.
Sus. Hold the sus sauce.
Yeah, hold the sauce, Ryan. We want the sycamore sauce, not the sus sauce.
Bears just signed Lamar Miller. Oh yay!
Oh, really?
Our rushing concerns are fixed.
Maybe you might have that speed duo.
Now, if Nagy's calling the run plays, it doesn't matter.
You think it's to replace Tariq Cohen?
Hmm?
You think it's to replace
Yeah.
Tariq Cohen? No.
Yeah, because Montgomery and Patterson
Second
can't
round
do it by
was
themselves.
64th pick, so he was the last pick in the 2nd round.
Damn.
Wow,
Disrespect.
I didn't even think he. That is a tremendous fall down.
So we did receiver and running back.
Okay.
You ready for QBs?
Yeah.
Who's your 10?
I got Big Ben.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow's not on my list.
Hmm?
You want to know who's really low on my list?
Who?
My number 9.
Who?
Q would be sad. Lamar Jackson.
Wow, at number
He
9.
plummeted all the way down there.
Yeah.
Where was he last week? Like top 5, right?
Lamar's
3 or 4.
still in my top 5.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Well,
It's MVP.
well, above that we have Drew Brees at 8.
Did we say 9?
I said Lamar at 9. I don't know. If
Okay, I got Matt Ryan at 9.
Yeah.
8, I have Brady.
Okay. Brady's a little bit higher on mine. I had Carr at 7.
I about put Carr in mine. I did. 7, I have Dak. Because the man's leading the league in passing
That's
yards.
7 or 8?
7.
7.
At my 6, I have Brady.
6, I have Breeze.
It's actually higher than I would even put.
Man, I was thinking like
I would put him
Because he
minimum
played
7.
pretty well against the Lions. Like, he really got on track.
But I think that's because our run game was as dominant as it started. Because we had 160 yards between the two backs, I think. Like 170 or something like that.
Do you think you'll keep that up against who do you play next?
I know I just said it. Jeez.
Oh, the Chargers, right?
Chargers, Panthers.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, we'll keep that up.
Okay. Who you got at
The
5?
pressure is going to be in there, of course, but we'll keep it up. At 5, I have Dak.
5, I had Lamar.
Okay. Josh Allen, number 4.
Same, yeah.
Russell Wilson, number 3.
wait, who was 4?
Josh Allen.
And then 3?
Russ.
Who'd you put ahead of Russ? Because I know.
Wait, yeah, don't say us.
3, I have Aaron Rodgers. And I know we're kind of out because we haven't seen him play week 3 yet. Or week 4, whatever week we're on. Yeah.
4.
4, okay.
Wait, who is
Number
it?
3, you
2?
have Rodgers.
Yeah, I got Rodgers at 3.
You put.
For us. Number 2, I have Mahomes.
2, I have Mahomes too.
And number 1, I have Rodgers.
Yeah. 1, I have Russ.
I don't know if I'd.
So I say
Rodgers at number 1?
Rodgers is better. He has not had to throw the ball nearly as much as Russ. He's only completed it 71 times out of 106 attempts. He still has 887 yards and 9 touchdowns with no interceptions. I think the key with him is he hasn't had his guys. Devontae's been out for as long as he has now. He hasn't had Allen Lazard for the last 2 weeks. He's still putting up the numbers he has. And the fact that his consistency hasn't dropped. Him and Matt LaFleur have only blossomed from the beginning of this season. Russ, I put at number 3 because he performed as well as he could, but they're eventually going to lose. Especially the fact of...
Well, so is the Pack.
I don't think the Packers are going to lose for a while. I think that... the
What do they?
Seahawks will
What's their?
lose.
Yeah, let's schedule.
Well, my
Let's
thing
see
is,
the
my thing
schedule.
is, Aaron Rodgers has Aaron Jones. Who does Russ have to rely on like that?
His receivers.
He has Carson.
I'm not talking about receivers. I'm talking about running the ball
Carson and
because
Rashad
you can't
Penny.
pass the ball every single play. You got to
Chris-
run the ball at
Chris
some
Carson
point.
And Rashad Penny.
Chris Carson's hurt, so is Rashard Penny.
Chris Carson's actually back, I believe.
Is he really?
I believe.
Pass it, cap,
Breaking news.
cap.
Chris Carson is an animal.
He is. I'm not saying that.
No, these are the headlines. Chris Carson shows he's a stud.
We should have started him then, huh?
Okay, but is he back?
I don't know. That's not popping up right now.
He had 80 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Dolphins this week. Carson did.
It looks like he's back.
The Dolphins.
It still looks like he's going to be playing next week as well.
Yeah, but I'd still take Aaron Jones over Chris
It
Carson.
says he's expected to play against the Dolphins. That was yesterday, so I guarantee you come this next week they'll be playing.
I'd probably
Okay.
take Jones over Carson though.
Yeah.
If we're not like.
Yeah, 100%.
But I would still put
They
Russ
play the
ahead
Vikings.
of Rodgers, just barely though.
Then they play the Cardinals. Then they play the Niners. Then they play the Bills.
I'd have Mahomes,
They lose against the
Russ,
Bills.
Rodgers, right now. Because I mean Mahomes, he'll be.
They
up
might
there
lose
until-
against the Vikings. If Dalvin does what he did this last week and runs all over the Seahawks, they might lose.
Don't mean to interrupt. Chiefs game just started.
Yes.
And first play of the game, Pat just about threw a pick.
Oh.
So we're
Rough.
ending this off quick.
Just about.
Gonna go watch this game. Thanks for tuning
Yeah, I'm
in.
down to.
I need to go watch.
List a little bit more.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Did you guys update your
Yeah, I need to
early
go.
awards yet?
Oh no, I didn't get to those.
Okay, I changed my MVP to Rodgers.
Yo, I thought this game started like at 7 or
Yeah, I know. I was shocked because I just got the notification. I was like, game start.
It's not the usual.
Yeah, that's
That's
not
why.
not the use. Yeah.
Changed my MVP from Russ to Rodgers. I changed my offensive player of the year from Kamara to Metcalf.
Let's watch this
Defensive
game, I
player of
guess,
the year
while
still
we're
the
here.
same for Aaron
Yeah, we can give some
Donald.
live
Coach of the
play-by-play.
year is still Sean McDermott.
I like coach of the
Yeah.
year. That's a good pick. Yeah.
Sean McDermott. Yeah.
I
Bro,
am
there's
gonna
a 7.
quickly as we possibly can since the game's on. Do MLB talk finally. So we've already had the wild. We've already had, no, this is America's
your
Fast
mouth.
Time.
I'm kidding, coach.
We have had the wild card round already go by, and I kind of wanted that to happen just so that way we didn't have as many teams for the guys to pick by. So here's a few teams, just so you guys actually have to pay attention and like pick a team. This is who you're going to root for the
Okay.
MLB playoffs from here on out. All right.
I'm glad that that wild card round was out. That was so confusing.
I'm so sad about my Reds, but
Yeah.
we have over in the NL, we have the Dodgers versus the Padres.
Yo, cool.
I'm gonna have to go with the Dodgers.
Dodgers and Padres.
Dodgers. Wait, is it the second round
This
already?
is who you're gonna be a fan of. I'm giving you. The
Is it
team.
still the first
I'm not
round?
making You pick.
It's
This is divisional series.
this is like if the wild card round was over. So now we're in the division series.
Okay.
They had the expanded wild card, but like basically the playoffs have started.
Goodness, they're watching the Chiefs.
That was
so cold.
Yeah.
They're like kids in the back of the class.
Yo, peep this again.
I'm just saying, Patrick Mahomes might have thrown. Dude, that wasn't even cross body. That was literally sideways.
Make sure you get the tip also.
Hurry up, coach. Padres or no
We
Dodgers.
have Dodgers, Padres.
Okay.
They're playing each other, but they're also two teams you can choose from. We have
Dodgers.
The Marlins and the Braves. They're playing each other. Also two teams you can choose from. Over in the AL, we have the Tampa Bay Rays versus the New York Yankees. Two teams that are playing each other. Also, you can be a fan of. And then the Houston Astros versus the Oakland A's. No, you're doing it wrong. Where's the trash can? Where's the-
Oh,
There you go, Clyde.
Curveball.
Yeah.
here
Off-
comes the sinker.
Off speed. Off speed.
The Astros.
Joe Kelly, give him the pouty face.
The asterisks.
God.
Yeah,
Yo,
well,
what year was that when they won?
2017.
27, and they made
God.
it last year.
And they made it last year too.
And there is proof that they achieved it all the way from 2017 to
Two?
2019.
That's tough.
That is immensely tough.
So
Get him out of there, coach.
Needless to say, no, I will not be cheering for them.
let's go Oakland.
Yep.
All right.
I hope Laureano. Well, Houston's up 8-5 right now,
Throw that
but
dime.
it's a series.
Mm.
I hope Laureano
Dime.
just goes off on them, charges their bench again.
Well, it was one of their coaches.
Yeah, it was one of their hitting coaches.
Is the Cubs in the playoffs? I don't know. I
They
like.
lost to the Marlins.
Also, what
They
round
have
is
a
it now?
postseason-
It's the divisions, like the wild card round.
'Cause it's like-
it was
like-
expanded.
Expanded, right? Yeah, like
Yeah,
so
it's-
many.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did the Cardinals lost to the
Mhm.
Padres?
Yep,
Yeah.
they did.
That's tough. I
Yeah.
watched like I think
Padres are
game
just
1 or game 2. They were
bad
up like
teams,
6-2, I think.
Yeah,
That's the
and
thing.
St. Louis's bullpen just blew it.
Yeah, I don't know who was pitching, but Jesus, man, blew the hell out of
It'll be
that.
Interesting to see if the Padres can pitch as well as the Dodgers have been.
Yeah,
Because they've got the bats. They've proven that. It's just if the Dodgers can consistently have playoff Kershaw like they are.
Yeah,
or if it's
Kershaw.
gonna be like
Yeah.
old Kershaw.
What is the Angels not in there either?
No, they didn't even make the playoffs.
Yo, what's that one dude's name? The outfielder.
Mike
He's-
Trout.
Yeah, Mike Trout. He's cold. You see him play top golf? That,
Sir,
that was out of it,
I
dude.
need you to pick a playoff team.
Oh, Yankees, bro.
So you're going Yankees.
Oh.
This is what league are they in?
They're
American
in the
League.
American.
American League, and then the Dodgers, are they in the same league as well?
They're in the
National.
Okay, yeah, that's my national team right there.
that's the World Series everybody wants
Yeah.
to watch. Like,
Actually,
Those two right
everybody
there.
kind of wants to watch the Astros get there and just crush nothing.
like they did last year against the Nationals.
And die.
They want to watch the Nationals win the AL.
Except, like, they
Go
want it to
for
be
it,
a sweep for the Dodgers.
Go
Like, they
for
want
it.
To even a game.
That would be like if you're looking at
kicking it.
drama, then yeah, you want Houston, LA, but I don't
just
even
want
want
Houston in the World Series. Again.
Houston. They shouldn't even be.
Who
in the
are they
postseason.
playing? Who's Houston playing?
The A's. But
Oh,
The
okay.
A's have bats.
And then
they're
who do-
bats.
who do-
I'm guessing Manaea pitched today.
Dodgers play who?
The
Padres.
Dodgers playing Slam Diego. In which case, if I had to choose a team, it is them.
The
Slam Diego Padres.
That's with the
Eric Hosmer's in that team, right?
what's his name?
Francisco Fernando Tatis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that dude.
yeah, I was
he's
thinking that
cold.
too. Yeah, I was
Not
thinking
even
that
the
too.
best player on the team, Manny Machado is.
I forget he's in that team too.
Yeah, they have a good roster.
Will Myers
tough.
too. That's a good
Will
cleanup
Myers.
hitter.
Never mind, dude. Padres. How many games are they doing series?
I think they did 62 for
60.
the bubble season.
60 was the
Or the
Dang, and
yeah.
it compared to how many games did they play
The
regularly?
wild card was
162.
best of 3, and then the NLDS is going to be best of 5.
So best of 3, then 5.
Then the CS is 5 again, or is it 7?
CS is 7.
CS is 7.
And then World Series is 7.
Yeah, so for the current round, it's whoever wins 3 first wins.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be Atlanta, LA, Dodgers, Yankees, and then I hate to say it, but I think the Astros are going to beat the A's. They're beating them pretty bad right now.
Yeah. It's only game 1 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
They might be able to have it.
Dude, there's a
Depends
lot
on
of
how
sports
Phoenix
right now
pitches.
that's in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
really.
I know hockey just ended too. Who won? I don't.
Lightning.
But yeah, Lightning won,
And
and then
then-
the WNBA finals are going right now.
Oh, it is too, huh?
And then
Interesting. That's a
soccer's
lot.
still going.
Soccer still going?
They're starting up. A lot of the transfers are going through today.
Dang. You
Um,
see,
So, I
I see.
have San Diego. You said Yankees.
Padres.
Yeah, Padres. And Boomer.
Oh, gosh, this is a tough one. I don't know who to root for. I'd probably just say the Dodgers because they just need to win it already. Like, it's been a long time since Kirk Gibson's home run. That was the last time they won it.
what's
So-
their roster looking like? I know they have. Do they still have Cody Billin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It still is stacked. They
Stay
have, they have,
stacked team.
they have Mookie Betts, too.
Mookie. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mookie's gold.
Yeah. The only people who get in the Dodgers' way is themselves. Like,
Rich.
they should have beaten the Red Sox. What the Astros, it's like, okay, that's... Yeah, they should have beat them, but, I mean, Astros were cheaters, so...
Last little thing I'm gonna do is just some of the social media stuff that I had. Just a crazy stat for the Texans. They have the most expensive roster this season, and they're 0-4. They also owe
Wow.
their first and second round draft picks to the Dolphins this year.
Who
Yeah.
are they paying?
Laramie Tunsil, left tackle money, because that's ungodly amounts of
JJ
money.
Watt
I was gonna
on
say
either
J.J.
side.
Watt's
Oh,
probably
yeah,
got a
Sean
good
Watson,
contract.
Forgot about him.
They just paid one of their linebackers, Zach Cunningham.
Johnson, the running back, and
Yeah.
then Will Fuller.
Yeah, because they absorbed the Cardinals contract when they traded for him. Yeah. Oh,
What in the world?
This is another one that's crazy. It's about the Patriots, though. Their jumbo package is utilized at the goal line, obviously, but it's the heaviest offensive lineup of all time.
All time?
All time. Weighs in at a whopping 3,200.
Yo, who's lineman?
yo, whoa.
It's almost... What? That's
Put
over...
So
Wait, how many?
1.5 tons.
the quarterback.
Damn.
Quarterback Cam Newton, 245 pounds. Fullback Jacob Johnson, 255. Tight end Ryan Izzo, 255. Another tight end Devin Asai, I think maybe.
Saucy, something like that.
Saucy, maybe. 257.
Oh.
Offensive lineman Isaiah Wynn, 310. Joe Thuney, 308. David Andrew, 300. Shaq Mason, 310. Jermaine Elamanor, 335.
Ooh.
Michael,
Damn.
That's
Michael
They were kind of light until you got to that one.
Michael Onwenu, 350.
Oh, my goodness.
Second line of the
Justin
buffet.
Herron, 305. That's the whole lineup.
Damn, get those boys on a diet.
That might be helpful for them, though. Another interesting one. Steelers have recorded at least one sack in 60 consecutive games.
Mike Tomlin's just
Yeah,
he's
I'm
such
not
a great
shocked.
coach.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin, yeah.
God, how did he? He
He
almost made it
didn't-
to the playoffs with Duck Hodges as his
Yeah.
quarterback last year.
Who won head coach of the year last year? I think I know. I remember he was in the conversation for.
It should have been him.
Yeah, honestly, really.
Like,
Take
The next closest streak for that, though, is the Cowboys with 21.
wow.
Wow, Cowboys. How about them, huh? How about them?
America's team. Everybody who knows this one probably, though. Winless teams are 7-0 against Adam Gase and the Jets.
God.
Fire that man.
Bum-bum-ba-dum.
Fire that man.
Get him out of there, coach.
Free Sam Donald.
Alright,
Free
so
Sam
Yeah,
Darnold
for
until it's backwards.
Russell Wilson has the same amount of touchdowns as Anderson.
Oh, Chris Jones is not
Said that one
playing.
earlier. Let's see.
Chris Jones isn't playing?
the first time ever in NFL history that a game ended in a scoreline of 35-29
Good stop.
with the Saints Lions.
Oh, that's interesting.
Jimmy Butler is the first player to ever score 40 points in an NBA Finals game without a three-pointer since Shaq in 2002.
He didn't score 3 at all.
That's a big difference between Jimmy Butler
Another
and Shaq
interesting
in terms of.
difference.
He's
Another
the
interesting
first
stat.
player, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how many times Wilt did that during his career.
His
Probably a lot.
heydays.
Jimmy
man,
Butler
he-
is the first player to ever outscore, out-rebound, or out-assist LeBron in a Finals game.
You see people talking shit on LeBron saying him leaving like 10 seconds prior to the buzzer. They're saying, oh,
They
he's
don't
not
talk
your
about Tom
king.
Brady not shaking hands, though.
Yeah, it's 10
And his Super
seconds
Bowl
left.
Right.
It's also Game 3.
Yeah, it's not like with the Pistons.
What was it
man.
at? Is it in LA or?
It's in the bubble in
Okay.
Florida.
Okay.
I mean, people have
Just
done
wanted to
that
get home early,
before.
man.
Haven't they? They've since
You
it's
wanted
a
to beat the
bubble,
crowd.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
I have a few other things, too, exactly. Another LeBron one here. Over the last
Look
14
at that
games
stat.
he's played in the NBA Finals, dating back to the Game 5 victory over Golden State in 2016. Pretty much Game 5, 6, and 7 is like the last ones that he won in that series as well to win the championship. But dating back to Game 5 specifically, all the way to now, LeBron is averaging 33.6 points, 10.7
10
rebounds,
and a 9, right?
9.8 assists per game in the finals.
Sheesh.
man. And he's been to how many?
10. This is his 10th one.
His 17 year.
Damn. And
That's
how many
insane.
of the because he didn't make it obviously last year.
Last year
But-
because he was injured, yeah.
So
He made it 9 in a row.
9 in a row before last year. So it's
No,
been-
it was 8.
It was 9.
It was 8 because 2007 is when he played the Spurs. And he wasn't back there until he went to the Heat. And he was there for 8 years. Now it's,
so 9
8
out of the
plus-
last 10 years.
yeah.
Man.
Because the 2007 one was when they played the Spurs. And I think they got swept, or I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, they lost.
That Spurs team was cold. Man.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
His team was himself.
It was him and like who?
It's Big Z.
Big Z, yeah.
Last one I have is coming back full circle on the officiating for the Saints. We have a third party who's talking about it. Not so third party, though, because he is working for the team pretty much. Emmanuel Sanders said, pretty much speaking on the way the refs officiate us, I have never seen the type of calls that they're calling on the team over and over and over. I've never been part of a team where we're the second most penalized team. Now, just being on the sideline, it's weird to see penalties that just happen. I've been in the league 11 years. I've never seen the calls that they make and then the calls that we don't get, you know? Like, I'm seeing a running back running down the sideline, and I see the cornerback get held, and I know the refs see it, but they don't throw it. Sometimes I sit back and analyze, like, what the hell are these refs doing? Like, what is going on with this?
That's tough.
Dude, I forgot Emmanuel Sanders is in the Saints now. That's insane.
Yeah, with officiating, it's weird. Like it really is odd. Like, did you see Harrison Smith get ejected?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that
yeah.
one was helmet to helmet.
Do you think he deserved an automatic
that was
ejection?
helmet to helmet. I seen that one time, and I just instantly know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
an ejection.
It just seems, and it's not just in the NFL, but it seems like in every sports league, like officiating is just getting in the way. Like even in baseball,
Yeah.
the umpires seem to get in the way more
Robot
of-
refs.
of just it's so yeah. You have a good point with the. I haven't watched the Saints, so I
Right.
can't tell you whether or not the calls have been. I've been too busy watching the Bears.
I
for
mean
some
that
reason.
one on that one that the Rams had, what was it 2 years ago? That was pretty egregious.
Yeah.
Was it 2 years or was it last year?
I think there was one last year too, but I don't know.
Let me give you a
That was insane. I remember watching that too. Like,
So this last year we lost to the Vikings.
oh, it was 2 years then.
2 years ago,
Mhm.
we had the Rams incident. 3 years ago, Vikings incident
Caught.
again.
Diggs, touchdown.
The year before that, I can't remember 2016, but that was the year whenever we first had Alvin Kamara in, and him and Mark Ingram were, needless to say, they were beautiful. They were chemistry.
Why did he leave? Ingram, was
We
it
let him go because
let him go
we
his
did-
contract?
Well, he wanted more money than we were going to pay him. Oh, never mind. We didn't even make the. Maybe it was 2017 was that year. I'm remembering it wrong.
Hey man, that was a cold
But we
duo.
let Mark Ingram go because we knew that Alvin was going to be our for sure back, and we didn't want to pay two guys.
And you have Latavius, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Well,
could
we
feel
got
that
him
role.
after, which is funny
Yeah.
because he was a part of that Vikings team that beat us.
That man just
Bet he doesn't bring that.
that man's got like PTSD.
Yeah,
off
no, I
that.
bet if he brings that up, he's
Yeah.
been jumped in the locker room.
Yeah.
Pain.
So is the
Pain.
cornerback that missed him? Was it a cornerback that missed
Who
him?
was it?
Marcus
Safety,
Williams.
It was
All-pro
Marcus
safety.
Williams. Yeah,
Wait, who was it?
All pro safety Marcus Williams.
Yeah.
Marcus Williams.
Pain.
Is he? Yeah, he's still there.
He's still there. I like you brought it up. He's still there.
He's still there, and he's doing even better than he was that year. Now.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's been 3 years, bro. Give him a
I
break.
bet Murray doesn't even say the word Vikings.
Don't bring that up, please. Don't bring it up. I'm already suffering.
Well, thanks to everyone for listening. If you like the show, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sports Cachet. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at the same handle. Touch those guys.
Go Chiefs.
Yes, sir.
3-0.
The other thing, like,
7:07 in the first.
yeah, that's what I say.
Glad we all got our teams. Nice for sure. Excited to see what the next 2 weeks.
Game 4 coming up.
Tuesday? Tomorrow?
Bears Buccaneers on Thursday.
I won't watch that. That one, that's more appealing than last week's Thursday. Sheesh.
Well, we'll see you guys next time when the Cache is